Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is Liverpool versus Manchester United. How you all feeling? It's a big game, isn't it? Very, very big game for Manchester United today. Very big game for Liverpool. Very big game for the Premier League. Very big game for the world, because it is that sort of a status game that we have today. Team news will be coming in very, very shortly. We suspect, and if the leak is right, Manchester United are going to play with a back five. Leicester have just got a penalty here. Just keeping an eye on that one as well against Burnley to go 2-1 up. Jamie Vardy's about to take it. But we are suspecting that Manchester United are going to play with a back five, and that will be Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back. Now, I would never have predicted that. It was only because I was told by more than one person last night that that's how we're going to go. No, Marcus Rashford did not travel. Still rumours around about how long Marcus Rashford could be out for. We'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. But as you can see, Matic, Fred, James up front with Martial and Pereira in behind, and basically a back five. Now, it's interesting if this is the case. I'm not going to talk about it too much in case in case it doesn't happen, of course. But it's interesting. I don't like the back five. I'm not about to flip-flop on this. I don't like Manchester United playing with a back five. I think that it hasn't worked. We tried it against Chelsea away, and we changed it, and that's when Rashford scored that great free kick. And Leicester have just missed the penalty as well, Vardy. So, so I don't really like the back five if that's the way we're going to go. I don't think it's the way that Manchester United should be playing in a game like this. Having said that, the positive side of it, we used it a few times. I think we used it against the Astana, maybe. Certainly, I think we used it in Belgrade. It's never really worked, this back five, but it did work well for the first half at Old Trafford against Liverpool till they figured it out in the second half. So I have my concerns if we do go with the back five. That remember that we figured Pep out at the Etihad. We tried to play the same way, and he figured us out, didn't he? He played with a false nine. So will Klopp make the same mistake? Klopp does seem to have a problem with beating Manchester United when we play quite defensive, though. So I think Ollie has maybe fallen into the trap a bit, because Klopp's been moaning about it this week, talking about how we play quite defensive, and Ollie was there, with his chest saying, well, that just shows how, we frustrated them. But it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Hi, Mark. If Man United score first, do you think we'll win? I think we will win, says Emar Taki. You know what? No Bruno Fernandes. No moaning about the owners or anything today. This is Liverpool against Manchester United, and this is one of the biggest games of our season. This is where it's all about Manchester United and hoping that we're going to win. I think that it would be a shock if we were to win, and of course we can. Of course we can do it. I think that my confidence is not as I would like it to be in this sort of a game. But having said that, going to Liverpool is always very difficult anyway. Of course it is. Please do as well, just let you give a shout out to Smarter Scout. We'll be taking a look at that in a moment or two. Just to show you there, Smarter Scout. You can get the premium part of Smarter Scout for with a discount code for a 30 days free with the code that we've got there, Smarter 2020. But there is also a free element of Smarter Scout anyway, and this is something that I use quite a lot, where it marks players out of 100 in a lot of different things. So we'll be talking about the weaknesses potentially of Liverpool shortly. But if you look at style ratings and we go to Alisson, he is... let me just have a look at Alisson actually. Doesn't really have many weaknesses, but his defending quality, as you can see, is 86. But if you look at that, shooting and saving rates out of 100. Non-headers in open play, 96 out of 100. So he's very good at dealing with shots. But he's not so good at headers from dead balls. 56 score there. Also, non-headers from dead balls, 56. But headers from dead balls, 22. So he's, set pieces could be key for United in relation to Alisson. To be honest, we're probably clutching at straws a little bit. Let me be honest with you. We probably are clutching at straws. Liverpool are a very good side defensively, as we know. Also, you know what? Alisson may not be good at dealing with the aerial dead ball, but neither are United at scoring from it. And also, they do have Van Dijk and maybe Matip as well. But we're taking a little bit of a deeper dive at where we might be able to get at Liverpool with the Smarter Scout website, which you can use. The link is in the video description for that. There is a free aspect to it, but you can get for $5 a month a lot more stats involved as well. But you can trial that as well for 30 days through the United Stand link in the video description, the code there. But give it a go, give it a look during the week and stuff. Very good comparison tool, which I'll show you in a moment as well. If there's any sort of players that you're looking at that think, oh, how would they transfer to the Premier League? Really good for that sort of stuff as well. But keeping my eye on that, and also keeping my eye on the fact that the Manchester United team news is in. And it is the leaked team. So we've got it absolutely spot on. Yabba dabba do. We don't need to change anything. That team that I got last night then, call me the G. Call me the source. Call me whatever you want. I mean, to be fair, I got it from somebody else. Got it from 2 other people actually. But that is the team then. We are playing with this it's very rarely that we don't have to change it. And for those who don't believe me, I actually put it in a few group chats last night and I tweeted it out at lunchtime that was the rumoured team, and it is the team. So De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Shaw and Maguire and Williams as the back 5. Williams and Wan-Bissaka will obviously have licence to get forward. Hopefully they will do. Matic and Fred sitting. Pereira just ahead. And James and Martial as the front 2. On the bench, you've got Romero, Eric Bailly. Surprised Eric Bailly can't actually play. It's a shame he can't play. So we've got Eric Bailly, Delot, Jones, Mata, Lingard and Greenwood. It's not a great bench, that is it. It's not a great bench if you need a goal. Mason Greenwood's on there, but Lingard and Mata, Jones, Delot, Bailly. It's just Deadwood FC, isn't it, on there? But nice to see Eric Bailly back. Greenwood, I think, can give us something. But Delot, Jones, Mata and Lingard, it doesn't really fill you with a lot of hope, does it? No Rashford is the big blow, of course, isn't it? No Marcus Rashford involved in that team. Shaw is going to be playing in a back 3. Of 3 centre-backs. Shaw at left centre-back as Rav's child. Yeah, that's what they've been practicing. Why don't you just look at the formation on the side, because this is what I was told last night. That's why I've predicted it, and the team's come out. So that's how we're going to play. I guarantee you that's how we're going to play. Don't start speculating about your formations. This is what I was told last night. I tweeted it out. People were like, oh, you're talking absolute crap. It has happened. I don't agree with it, but that was what we were told. So I've had a bit more time than you lot to get used to this. As I can see from the live comments, Spring saying Shaw is a left centre attacking midfielder. No, he's playing as a left centre-back. For the millionth time, that's how we're playing. 5-3-2. They've been practicing it in training all week. Luke Shaw plays left-sided centre-back and Brandon Williams is left-back. That's how we're going in this game. And as I said, I really hope it's going to work. I want it to work for Manchester United more than anything. I really want it to work, but I do not like the back 3. I think it confuses our centre-backs. I think Maguire and Lindelof have looked a bit shaky this season anyway, without confusing the issue. Look, I've seen Chelsea play with 3 centre-backs and get confused this season. I've seen Spurs do it and get confused. And I've seen us getting confused with it. I don't think that 3 centre-backs works for Manchester United at all. But I think in this game that it will certainly be an approach from United to sit back and try and hit them on the break, which is our best. It's the best way of doing it, to be honest with you. It'll probably become a 4-2-3-1 when we're attacking, says Jesus Escobar. I don't think it will. I think it will become a 3-4-2-1, 3-4-1-2 when we're on the attack. I think we'll play with 3 centre-backs. That's what we're going to do. Luke Shaw left-sided, Harry Maguire through the middle, Lindelof through the right, when Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams as the wing-backs. And I think what we're trying to do is get a draw. I think we're going to try and make it very hard for Liverpool to score against us, which is what we've done consistently with Liverpool and Klopp in his era. We've not, we've got quite a good record against them. And Shaw is a left-sided centre-back. We're doomed, says Franklin. This is going to be bad, says Stephen Schuster. Don't start with the negativity when we're only just, we're not even kicked off yet. 5-3-2 on paper is in reality it's a 5-4-1. Is everyone like me not looking forward to this with the formation? Sure, in that formation doesn't make sense, says JT. Luke Shaw's quite good in the air, and I think that look, I would never have thought that we would be playing Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back. I've got to be honest with you. But I think more importantly, rather than focusing on that, what I would say is, do you look at that Manchester United side and have any confidence that we can go and score even 2 goals? I just don't look at that team and think that's got goals in it. Dan James has been pretty off for 6 weeks. Pereira's just not creative. Fred and Matic are not creative. Anthony Martial will score if you give him chances. I just don't see enough in that team in an attacking sense. I know people are focusing on Luke Shaw, but I sort of think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone into this game trying to pack the defence and maybe try and nick a 1-0 or get a 0-0 or something like that, because I just don't see any creativity in that side, I'm afraid. And I wish Juan Mata was 5 years younger so that I would have played him. But this is my problem with Mata. I just think he's done at the top level. I really do. And we don't have the creativity. And I think, as we saw in the first half against Wolves on Wednesday night, without Marcus Rashford, this team has got a lot missing. So that concerns me a lot as well in relation to Marcus Rashford. Why not play Greenwood, but especially why play Shaw and not Bailly, says Charles Crane. I mean, I presume Eric Bailly it's a fitness thing with him. I don't know why so many people are saying that Luke Shaw's playing at left wing. And I don't know why so many people are saying that he's playing left midfield. I think they're probably getting it from apps. I can tell you, if you follow me on Twitter, at Mark Goldbridge, I was speaking about this last night. Manchester United have been practicing with Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back in training, and that is why we are playing 5 at the back. Announced lineups, and there's no Shaw, but great to see Bailly back, says Josh Sutton. I don't know what you're on about, mate. And there's no... you see, the One Football app says 4-2-3-1. Well, I'm sorry. Since when do One Football know anything about formations? I will change it if it changes in game, but this is coming from the Manchester United training ground. So excuse me if I'm going to go with Manchester United training ground ahead of the One Football app. And as I said, if you actually bothered to follow me on social media, I mentioned this last night. So there you go. What's the latest news on Bruno Fernandes, says Charlie 0014. I've got to actually say, I really hope that Manchester United do sign Bruno Fernandes, but I haven't got a care in the world about Bruno Fernandes at the moment. For me, that maybe comes in after the game. For me, that maybe comes in tomorrow. But this is a massive game. You know, you can't say Manchester United, Liverpool, it's just a game, let's focus on Bruno Fernandes. What do we support? We support a football club. What does a football club do? They play football. Who's our biggest rival? Liverpool. So to me, Bruno Fernandes, that's a mess. That's the club to sort out. This is what we're here for. This is why we started watching football and supporting Manchester United, for these moments, these games. So, yeah, Bruno Fernandes would be a nice player for Manchester United to start, to sign. But at the moment, for the next couple of hours, it's Manchester United versus Liverpool. What's a short aerial duel score like, Mark? Says B. Yakov. Well, I think that's very, very interesting. And that's something I wanted to bring in here. And I think Burnley have just gone 2-1 up. And Leicester losing another game. We've got Burnley on Wednesday as well. So I am going to just go to that, because I think it's a very interesting point that you bring up. And what would be perfect for this would be the Smarter Scout app, which I'll bring up in a minute. So Luke Shaw in the team, Brandon Williams in the team. Some people want to believe we're playing with a left back and a left midfielder, with Luke Shaw at left midfield. Look, I like that to be the case, but it's not what's been coming from the Manchester United training ground. We have been practicing with 3 centre-backs with Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back. So I would say that is what we're going to do. But if not, we'll see. We'll find out when the game kicks off. But as I say, I really don't have a lot of time for arguments about formations before a game has even kicked off. All I can tell you is what was discussed, what I was told last night in relation to the starting lineup, which is actually player for player correct. So I'm going to stick with what I think on that one. But let me just show you something here. So this is the confirmed lineup. We await to find out whether it's going to be the confirmed team. You can download you can go to the Smarter Sky website. The link is in the video description. There is a free element to it, but if you want deeper stuff, you can also use the code that we've got to get it free for 30 days. So what we're going to look at here is, let me just move the minutes down a little bit. This is so I've searched for Manchester United, and this is the list of Manchester United players. What I want to look at is defending quality, because what Smarter Scout does, it pulls in like 10 years of stats across all the major leagues, and it marks a player out of 100 on various areas. So if you look here, attacking output, Luke Shaw's got an output of 61. Ashley Young had one of 85. That's for left back. So Ashley Young going forward is better than Luke Shaw. Defending quality 49, and Luke Shaw's got a defending quality of 4, which is absolutely terrible, to be honest with you. So that's not great. But let's have a look at Luke Shaw anyway, because he's going to be playing at left centre-back. And what I wanted to do was look at... no, that's not what I want to look at. I want to look at style ratings. Style ratings, aerial duels. So Harry Maguire's score in aerial duels is 90 out of 100, which is very, very good. Victor Lindelof not so good at 28. Luke Shaw has a score of 76 in aerial duels, which is one of our best with McTominay, and I would imagine Nemanja Matic is quite... Well, Nemanja Matic is not that good actually, 29. Okay, so yeah, Luke Shaw's aerial duels of 76 puts him up as the third best in our squad, with Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay ahead of him. So yeah, Luke Shaw is good in the air. His link-up passing is good, 95 out of 100. In fact, I think he's the best in the team. 95 link-up passing is Luke Shaw. As I said, recovering a moving ball is not so good. Disrupting opposition moves, 38, which is better than Victor Lindelof, who's only got a 4. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka has got an 80, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the best in our team apart from Fred, who's got a 99 score for disrupting opposition moves, which is basically beast mode. And also in relation to Luke Shaw, what's he got? Passing towards goal, only a 12, whereas people like Harry Maguire have got a 20. I mean, that's about standard for a defender, really. Dribbling, 66. Wan-Bissaka's got 86. But yeah, it's that aerial duel aspect that I think that Luke Shaw has that advantage to play the left-sided centre-back role. So that's interesting. Make sure you download it. Give it a visit. Links in the video description with that. But what I would say about this that I find quite interesting, and I don't know about you lot, and that was thanks to B. Yakov for asking that. But what I find interesting is how bad is Phil Jones that he just can't get a game, can he? He just cannot get a game. Do you think this lineup is Ollie getting all of his best available players on the pitch? So that's from Andrew Rossi. Well, I think he is trying to get his best available players on the pitch because it's going to be... it's B. Yakov. I've just done aerial duels. That's not the... that style rating, you're right. I'll go to aerial duels in a minute. I've just realised what you just said. Going to Anfield is a very difficult game to play. It is a difficult game to play. It's very atmospheric. It's very full of rivalry, as we know, and that makes it a difficult game for Manchester United. So I think that he is trying to get as much experience on the team as possible. There's not really many young players there apart from Brandon Williams. So. But I think that Dan James is going to be very important in this game anyway, because a lot of people say Mason Greenwood needs to play, but I think that Dan James is an important player to play in this game. I really do. Anyway, let me just... you're going to be all part of this. Hello everybody, I'm currently live on YouTube, Liverpool versus Manchester United watch along. Search it on YouTube, the United Stand. Join us on there for all the pre-match chat, all the way through the match chat as well. Big game, team news is out. Luke Shaw centre-back. Join the debate on YouTube, United Stand. That's how you do an Insta post. It took me a year to figure that one out. Okay. Why no matter, says Ron Ellie. I just think Juan Mata's been playing a lot of football recently, and he's just not that ready, is he? He's not that ready to play in 3 games in a week. I think that's what's the situation with Juan Mata is. I think he's one of our form number 10s at the moment, but I don't think that there's any. I never expected Mata to play today. I think the legs of Pereira is important. And to be honest, I think what I said in my preview is United are going to have to battle in this game. Liverpool could potentially... Well, they're going to win the league. They could be invincible. They could win the treble. They're a decent side, Liverpool, but they're 11 people against 11 Manchester United players, and this rivalry matters. So we've got to go into this game and battle. And I don't think Juan Mata's got the pace or physical elements to battle, but I think Andreas Pereira does. I would have picked Andreas Pereira in this game. I'm very happy that Jesse Lingard's not playing because I think he would just get swallowed up in a game like this. We are massive underdogs in this game. I have to say that. I've had Liverpool friends of mine contacting me today saying, how are you feeling? And I've said, I'm hoping for a shot. I'm not going to submit. I'm not going to submit and go, oh yeah, we need a miracle. I don't like those words. But we do need to produce a shock. It would be a shock for us to... It'll be a shock when anybody beats Liverpool because they've not lost in the Premier League this year. But it would be a real shock for us to do this. Highbury says you need Haaland, Sancho, Bruno to beat United. Well, we could have had Bruno, but we've decided to just keep messing about with that one, haven't we? Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. We are trying to change that number to 632,000 today. It does change every 1,000, so you can do that. Link is in the video, bottom right-hand corner to do so. I'll just let you know how many we're on. Looks like Leicester are going to lose again. I just think they've got... we only need 250 subscribers to get to 632. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Looks like Leicester are going to lose again, but I just think that they've got too much of a cushion on everybody else. I still think they'll get top 4. I think this match could be a De Gea masterclass, says Johnny Wilson. Well, yes. De Gea is on our... thumbnail for a reason, because I think that's probably going to be the case. To be honest, I think that De Gea will be key in this game also. That's why I've put him on the old thing, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a look at some of your comments. A lot of people talking about Bruno Fernandes. De Gea is key today. De Gea out, Romero in, says Asaf. And Zed Jamie, welcome mate, says since Liverpool last lost at Anfield, United have spent 300 million in transfers. Interesting. Aaron O'Neill says with our fullbacks going forward, it leaves space for Liverpool's fullbacks to overlap. And I think, look, from a tactical point of view, I think the way we're going to work is with the 3 centre backs and the 5 defenders effectively. I think Williams and Wan-Bissaka are going to be up against Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold And I think then what we'll do is, I think that we're basically probably going to go... Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know. What look, I'm thinking on the hop here. I think that what Liverpool have got Mane and Salah on one side, and Mane on one side, Salah on the other. So does Wan-Bissaka pick up Mane and Brandon Williams pick up Salah? But then who's going to pick up Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson as they go forward, because we're not playing with any other wingers. So are we going to get Brandon Williams to get doubled up on by Salah and TAA, and Wan-Bissaka doubled up on Robertson and Mane? Or actually, are we going to be really brave and say, right, Brandon Williams, you go and deal with TAA, and Wan-Bissaka, you deal with Andy Robertson, Shaw, you deal with Salah, Lindelof, you deal with Mane, Maguire, you deal with Firmino. I can't see us doing that. I can't see us going 3 for 3 at the back. I think what we're going to do is sit really deep and just invite them on with a very low block and loads of numbers. And that's... I don't think there's going to be anything expansive about Manchester United, because if we push forward, we'll get double teams on both flanks. Man United app says Shaw will play left wing. What? Says Daniel Fosenhanser. Well, look, if that happens, that happens. It's not what I was told, and I was told the team news, which I'm 100% right about. So, and I was always told, and I was also told as part of that team news that Luke Shaw was playing left-sided centre-back. But maybe that's been leaked out on purpose, so that Liverpool think we're going to play 5 at the back. Ari Guadalia says, I was told by someone in the know that I'm not a true fan because I don't care about how much money United pay for Bruno Fernandes. What is your thought? Well, look, I don't really care about what we pay for Bruno Fernandes either. That doesn't mean you're not a proper fan, to be honest with you. I tell you what, I'm with Ibrahim Karim here. He says Wan-Bissaka's going to pocket Mane. I think Wan-Bissaka, to me, is the best defender in the Premier League. I think he's absolutely brilliant, but definitely the best right back. And I'm not concerned about him. I'm not concerned about Brandon Williams either against Salah. I think, Ashley Young's dealt with him before. I think Salah, Mane and Firmino don't have a great goals record against Manchester United. So we are going to look, as a United fan, I can own this and say we will park the bus and we will try and hit you on the break. But to be honest with you, Liverpool are probably quite used to that by now. And we are certainly used to this as United fans. We can't suddenly start criticising park the bus when it's basically what we do. We hit teams on the counter-attack. That's what we do. So I can't really say that I'll be shocked if that's how we're going to approach it. First goal, Dan James, 7th minute. Glory, glory, Manchester United, to Gerard Twomey. Look, if we see a similar game to what we saw at Old Trafford, where they try and impose their game on us, but we've got so many people back they can't, and then we hit them on the break, then there are opportunities there. And, who's to say that the referee won't make a big involvement in this game? He there could be yellow cards, there could be red cards, there could be VARs. But I think from Manchester United, they just want to deprive Liverpool of space. Liverpool are very good at moving things quickly in the final third. And if you play with a deep line, it makes it very difficult for them to do that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not shocked about how we're going to do it. Only just joined Mark, says Stuart Grant. What do you think? What do you make of the lineup? I'm not surprised. I mean, Skills14 says, why is Bailly not starting? I'm not surprised by the lineup. If it in fact is a 5-3-2, I'm not surprised by that at all. This is what we played at Old Trafford. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got a massive amount of tactical nous. I think he is quite predictable. And we saw that in the Man City game. He thought he could play the same way against Man City and beat them again at Old Trafford. And Pep just adapted and destroyed us. So I think we saw this against Liverpool. And I think the 5-3-2, correct me if I'm wrong, was one of the first times we used it this season, was Liverpool at Old Trafford. And it worked in the first half. It did work in the first half, let's be honest. We were 1-0 up, so it did work. So I'm not surprised that we've gone with that again, 5-3-2. Do I think it's going to work here? As I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a draw, but I think a 1-0 win is as likely as a draw, to be honest. I think United are looking at keeping a clean sheet, because if you keep a clean sheet, you don't lose, obviously. So 0-0, or maybe United nick it. I think we're going to frustrate Liverpool. I think that's the plan. What we don't want to see is what we want to see at Old Trafford all the time. We don't want to see Liverpool getting an early goal, because if they get an early goal, then we've got problems, haven't we? Daniel James is a quality player, mate, says Kaka. I don't think he is at the moment. I think he's struggling with not with efforts, and I think he will be a good player. I think he's sort of burning out a little bit. I think he's been played way more than he said in an interview the other week, didn't he? He didn't expect to play this much. I think his final ball's been a bit suspect. His finishing's been a bit suspect as well. But I would have played him today because I think he's got the work rate that we're going to need. And I hate to say work rate because I'd rather we were saying talent. But unfortunately, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer uses it a lot as well. He says, no team comes off and get off the pitch against United now and doesn't feel like they've had to work hard. Well, you sound like Stoke, Ollie. I'd rather we had a bit of, tactical idea and quality. But we do work hard, and I think Dan James will work hard. And I think today, as much as it shames me to say it, it's going to be about working hard. I think that's how we do it. Bully Trent Alexander-Arnold and outnumber them on that side, says Pete Squire. Well, yes, look, that is something I do want to just go back to because that was something that I initially was going to look at as well with regards to Liverpool and potentially how you would look at causing them problems because they are the best team in the world at the moment. I don't have any problem. Well, I do have a massive problem with it. I'm surprised I didn't get sick in my mouth, but they are the best team in the world at the moment, and they are, they don't get results like City get against Palace and Norwich because defensively they're actually quite savvy and switched on and well organised, so they don't struggle with those sort of things that City have struggled with this season. But there has to be a way. There has to be a way to hurt Liverpool. And I think when you look at this, I'm using the Smarter Scout website again. Remember, you can use it. The link is in the video description. It's free to use, or you can get a 3 months of the premium level of stats. I think with the free thing, you get about 5 searches a day. Premium, you get indefinite searches, and you can get that for free for 30 days by using the code we've got, which is Smarter2020. But if you just want to have a look around it, the link's in the video description. But what I wanted to look at was that United, the two wingers are definitely very important for Liverpool when you look at their attacking output. Where are they? Mane and Salah down the bottom. Attacking output 97 and 81. That's out of 100. So really, really good. Their finishing skill has been roughly equal, and Salah may be a bit more of a goal threat, but Mane is a greater danger overall, as you can see. The defending quality is very good for them both as well. 97 and 81 for attack out of 100. Defending output 81 and 83. So really good. Ball retention's pretty good, but Jorginho and Henderson are the kings of Liverpool with that. But what I wanted to just show you was in relation to their style ratings and how we might be able to sort of get at them a little bit. Aerial duels, look at Van Dijk. He isn't even the best player. He's got an 80, but Lovren's got 98, which is better than Harry Maguire. Matip has got 87. So let's have a look at the Liverpool lineup, because I haven't actually seen what Liverpool's lineup is today. But look, what we're looking at here on the Smarter Scout website is just how Manchester United might be able to cause some problems for Liverpool. So they've gone with Gomez and Van Dijk, Alexander. No place for Fabinho. So Fabinho isn't back. He's on the bench. It's actually Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Wijnaldum. So they don't actually have Fabinho playing, but they've got Joe Gomez playing, who also isn't that good in the air. Look, 37 for Joe Gomez. So we know that Alisson's not great on the aerial ball from set pieces. And they've got Joe Gomez playing at centre-back, who is only 37 for aerial duels. So they're going to be very reliant on Van Dijk. And I think this is an area that United can hurt them if we can get some height into the box. Because Trent Alexander-Arnold in the air, crap, 9 out of 100. And Andy Robertson, 17. So they're not particularly that great in that area. But also, if you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, we have a look at him, his stats. Duel ratings, ground duels when he's got the ball, 53. Ground duels out of possession, 13. So that means out of 100... Trent Alexander-Arnold, his ground duels out of possession, he only gets 13, a score of 13 out of 100. So when people are running at him, he's not particularly good. Ground duels out of possession, 13. So that is definitely somewhere that United can exploit the Liverpool team, if we can do it. I mean, there's a big if here. But basically, people who are saying that, we need to exploit Trent Alexander-Arnold on the attack. And whether that's Dan James, whether that's Brandon Williams as the left wing back, or whether we're going to play a different formation with Luke Shaw, you've got to get at Trent Alexander-Arnold, because going forward, he's immense. He's absolutely brilliant going forward, but defensively, he's not very good in the air, and he's not very good at being run at. So that's what we need to try and do. And also, with Joe Gomez playing, I think United have got to try and get decent ball into the box. What I would be saying if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, based on those things, is lots of counters, says William Pireng. But look, if you're Anthony Martial or you're Dan James, pick up free kicks. Just pick up free kicks. We'll lump Harry Maguire forward. We'll get Matic forward. Decent ball into the box. Somebody occupy Van Dijk, i.e. Harry Maguire. But everybody else, Matic up against people like bloody Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alisson not so good on dead ball, high balls into the box. So that can be where Manchester United can hurt them. And you know, people will say, well, that's very, very simplistic. But I think football is that simplistic. And I think sometimes Manchester United's tactics, we get the simple things wrong. And this is where, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, very good, brilliant, world class going forward, but he's no Wan-Bissaka going backwards. That's where you can hurt him. Anyway, if you want to have a quick look at all these sort of things, the link in the video description is there for Smarter Scout, and please do take a look at it. But we're about half an hour away from kickoff. Score prediction, a lot of people are asking. I'll ask you as well, what is your score prediction in this game? For me, I think that Manchester United will shock people if they get a result here today. My head says we'll lose this 3-1, but then my heart says if we defend well, we could end up getting a draw. I think the thing about United is when everybody expects us not to get something, we get it. So I think that when you look at, and look, I don't look at, the reality is Klopp has struggled against Manchester United over the last couple of years to really deliver the win, I suppose, in the way that Liverpool fans crave. I think Liverpool fans are absolutely loving what's going on at the moment, but they'd absolutely love to smash us in the league. You know, win the Premier League, but also smash Manchester United at Anfield. That's like a cherry on the cake. So they want that today. But can they do that? Will Manchester United allow them to do that? And I think that, as I said, if we can get to half-time and we've not conceded, then I think we're in the game. I think we're in the game then. But that is not easy to do. I think if we're going to win 1-0, I don't think we've got more than one goal in us, to be honest. If we're going to draw 0-0, 1-1, if they're going to win, it could be a lot more. It could be 3-1, but we'll see. But look, I don't care about the Glazers. I don't care about Bruno Fernandes. I've got no interest in any of that. All I care about is Manchester United, because, to be honest with you, if I wouldn't normally say this, but if you are a Manchester United fan and you're thinking anything other than I want to beat Liverpool, then probably Manchester United's not for you, because it doesn't matter what situation we're in. It doesn't matter who the manager is. It doesn't matter who the owner is. It doesn't matter what players we need to sign. It doesn't matter what players are on the pitch. Ultimately, I will love it if we play absolutely shit and we beat them with a last-minute goal off the ref. I'm not bothered, because it's about beating Liverpool, and that's what I want to do. And Liverpool are exactly the same. This is a rivalry that matters. It absolutely matters, and that's what I want to see happening today. Thanks for the super chat from Zen Gaming Boy. He says, Mark, don't jinx this. Well, look, I said my head says 3-1. My heart says we can get something. So that's not jinxing anything. There we go. Bruno was seen on the bus on way to Carrington. Says Man 1 DJ. Not interested. And I think Romero is better than De Gea. Says Kaka. And I know Alisson is better than De Gea. I'm just trolling Mark, says Jose. I'm not interested in that. And you think Klopp won't know how to switch it up when he figured what we were doing, says Tommy Lim. But Tommy, I think that comes across as really arrogant, and I agree, Liverpool fan, if you are a Liverpool fan, I've got every right to be arrogant, but tell me how many times Jurgen Klopp has beaten Manchester United over the last 2 years. He's struggled to do it. And like you can say, oh, Klopp will switch it up. Well, let's see if he can switch it up, because he's not been able to switch it up over the last couple of years. He's never handed United a beating. I think they did. Obviously, Mourinho got beat, and that's what got him the sack. But Ollie's not beaten Ollie, and this is the third time we've played you? So but it's the first time at Anfield. That's the big thing. Look, I am concerned, but let's just see. Logic says we're in for a big fat L, but I think it's going to be 0-0. Without Rashford, we're going to struggle to score. It's all on Martial to score and create. Yeah, and I don't think Anthony Martial is like Marcus Rashford. I think Marcus Rashford's a player that can sort of create something out of nothing. I think Anthony Martial is brilliant, but I think Anthony Martial needs quality around him as well. And some players are like that. You know, Jamie Vardy, if you look at Jamie Vardy, Sergio Aguero, brilliant players, but they're not going to do it on their own. They need to get the ball in and around the goal. And I think that's the problem Martial may face. Just seen this lineup. Why is Shaw playing up top? Says Chizzy629. And Corey Gower, thanks for the contribution. He says Manchester United paid 53 million for Fred, but won't pay 55 million for Bruno. Sorry that it's nothing to do with the game, but still mad from Ed. Yeah, and that was a couple of years ago, mate. That was a couple of years ago. So, $sign at the bottom of the chat if you want to give us a super chat. We'll read that out for you. Daniel James may be playing striker, but he hasn't quite got that instinct, says Josh Sutton. I think it's about work rate today. It's about absolute work rate. I mean, Bash Gaming is right. He says Martial will be isolated in this game, and I think that could be a problem for Manchester United today. But we'll see how we go on. I think the first 20 minutes is key in this game. You know Anfield will be rocking. It always is. It doesn't matter where Liverpool are in the league. Anfield is always rocking for Manchester United. So even more so because this game is important, massively important, because they're going to win the league, aren't they? So they're going to ram it down the throat. The United fans will be there. Liverpool fans are there. They're going to be a very, very fast start. They're going to try and get an early goal. I think United, if there is an early goal, are in trouble. And that I'd struggle to see us coming back. We've got to see out that first 20 minutes 0-0, or even better 1-0. But you know what I mean. We've got to get through that first 20 minutes. An early goal in a game like this, and it's a long game for Manchester United. So we're gonna defend a lot in this game, and I don't like that. I don't like being the team that defended. I've not been brought up on that. It's a recent thing. I know if you're Burnley or Stoke or someone like that, you're used to being a team that soaks up pressure and tries to cause problems on the counter-attack. But for me, that isn't something I really enjoy. So I hope that that we can improve that in the future. But I don't see that improving anytime soon. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Hopefully you can hear me. We've had a super chat from Chris. He says, hi Mark, just a heads up, when you're on Smarter Scout sometimes we can't see the stats at the bottom of the page. Love the content, keep it up. Thanks for that, Chris. Appreciate that. Paul, just butt in when you can hear me. I can see you're in there.
Yeah, I'm in, mate. I'm in. Well supplied.
He is talking. Right, okay. Problems. Let me just come in and out. Problems already with that. Might be problems with yours, Paul. So, yeah, get in the live comments. Let us know what your score prediction is for this game. I think Manchester United, for me, are going to have to cause a shock to get a result. And I do feel that a draw is as likely as a loss, to be honest. Sorry, a draw is as likely as a win. I don't think, like, a lot of people say 0-0, but... oh, come on, get me out. Get me out of here. Oh, I know what was going on. What the bloody hell's going on here? Why can't I hear anything? Okay. Can you hear me, Paul?
I can, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I had a problem with the system there. I think everyone else could hear you, so that's fine. All right then, mate. What's your thoughts on team?
Yeah, well, Ollie's trying his 5 at the back again, isn't he? We say 3 at the back, but it always ends up being 5 at the back, because with 3 at the back, you need marauding wing backs that tear up the wings and get crosses in and push the fullbacks of Liverpool back to where they should be, which is in defence. But when we play 3 at the back, our fullbacks are defensive midfield defenders, and then they get pushed back, and then we get dominated and we lose possession of the ball. So, listen, Ollie's got to throw something out there that he thinks is going to work, because a 4-3-3 he probably thinks is just going to be dominated. So it's on Ollie, and I do hope it works. But Luke Shaw being the left-sided centre-back is slightly concerning. Pereira in midfield could get bullied. These are all problems which we know we have. So Ollie's arms are tied behind his back a little bit, to be honest.
Ronan Curran, thanks for the contribution. He says Liverpool are going to overrun Manchester United's midfield. It will be 2-0. And LG and Cal 456 says, come on, you beat us at the Etihad, do the same to Liverpool at Anfield. I think, look, to offer some positivity to Manchester United fans, please do subscribe if you're new, by the way. We're very close to 632,000. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner, and please share the link by clicking the share button. You can share it on Twitter and Facebook. But Paul, to offer them a little bit, I've said, look, I don't see us getting smashed today. I think we might lose, but I don't see it being 3 or 4-0, because I think the way we've set up, Mane, Salah and Firmino have always struggled to score goals against us. And I think we're just gonna, not only have we got a back five, but let's remember we've got Matic and Fred stood in front of that as well. And Pereira's not creative, so he's just going to be tenacious. Realistically, I think a lot of this game is going to be Anthony Martial up front on his own. Dan James is going to be very deep as well. We're basically parking a bus at Anfield, and that even if we concede one, we're not going to suddenly go gung-ho. I can't see this game being a 3 or 4-0. I think it's going to be hard for Liverpool to break us down.
Yeah, it's one of those games that, a neutral would think this is going to be a fantastic game, and it ends up being a bit neutral, because we're going to cancel each other out. We are going to sit back. We are going to defend. We have got a game plan to stop Liverpool. That is our ultimate goal. Stop Liverpool, nick a goal. And it could work, because it's worked with other teams before. Again, I say this every game, Mark. It gets a bit boring, but we have to score the first goal. If they score the first goal, I'll worry about the floodgates opening. If we score the first goal, we can manage the game a little bit better, because then Liverpool have to change their game a little bit. But, yeah, if Jurgen Klopp presses in the right places, as in presses Pereira in the middle and dominates the midfield, I'll worry about us. If he gives us enough space to counter-attack, then we have got a chance. But at the moment, I'm going with a 1-1. I think it'll be a tight, not very enjoyable game. Ollie's game plan to stop Liverpool, I think, will work to a point, but they'll get a goal and we'll nick one on the counter. That's my opinion anyway. But, I can't see us getting beat. I can't see us getting beat badly at all.
No, well, look, I've got a comment here from Vish Pankal, which I think will interest a lot of people, because apparently Marcus Rashford is
out for weeks. Apparently,
yeah, out for weeks. I don't know how accurate that is. I mean, but that is a major concern for Manchester United, and that is sort of breaking news for everybody, that Marcus Rashford could be out for weeks. And I think we're going to miss him massively today, Paul. I really do. And I think that Martial's a great player, but Marcus Rashford, look, it's easy to say it when the chicken has bolted, but we have been saying this on numerous shows, that that he is one of the best players in Europe at the moment, form-wise. So regardless of, I think what this says, and I didn't want to talk about Bruno Fernandes, but this to me just highlights again that the club haven't got any money, and this will be used as a violin. Marcus Rashford's out, whereas a big club like Man City or Liverpool, the January transfer window's open. It's not ideal, we've lost our best player, but let's go and buy somebody. But United, we're not going to buy anybody. We're going to try and now get by with Anthony Martial, who could pick up a knock himself, Mason Greenwood and Dan James. That's it. That's all we've got. Because let's not forget, Tahith Chong could sign a pre-contract deal with somebody at any point. It's becoming a real problem, and so much of a problem that even signing Bruno Fernandes it's not going to be a magic wand when we've just gone and lost Marcus Rashford for a long time. Cameron says you could get Greenwood on, and if Liverpool go in front, but I think if we go toe to toe with Liverpool, this game's over. To answer that, but give us your thoughts on the Rashford situation.
I just read a comment in the live chat saying Paul said last week we're a better team without Rashford in the last game. I don't think we are a better team without Rashford. I think we play in a different way without Rashford. As in, we try and retain the ball up front a little bit more than knock it in to the corners and run after Rashford. And he normally turns up at the box 15 yards before anybody else does anyway. So he has to cut back. Rashford's going to be a huge loss. His form's fantastic, but if we're a one-man team and Rashford is that one man and we can't do without him, we're in an absolute mess because Rashford is not that guy yet. He is not that good yet. He's got the potential to be, but we should not be relying on a 22-year-old. He's not a kid anymore. He's played 200 games, but he's still young. He's not, he was in consideration for the captaincy as well. How can we be relying on this guy?
Exactly.
It just shows where the club's at. I mean, as a whole, I don't want to go into the entirety of what it means. There's if you dig deep into, we haven't got someone to replace Rashford. We haven't spent enough money in the last 2 years to be able to keep up with the squad depth, to be able to win things, etc., etc. But Rashford's going to be a huge miss.
I think there's a big. I was talking about how we beat Liverpool, and one of the things I was using the Smarter Scout website for was to highlight how Alisson's not particularly great on the aerial ball when it's from a set piece. Gomez has got a low score on aerial ability. I mean, Van Dijk is good, but that could be an area that United could do quite well. Especially, I wanted to bring it in because Luke Shaw has got quite a high score. He's only behind McTominay and Harry Maguire when it comes to aerial ability. So that could be an area that United could hurt them with. But we always come back to the fact that, well, who's going to put the decent cross into the box from the set piece, because we haven't actually got anybody. How is it hard to find where Manchester United will hurt them today? Because I don't want to go on about the Rashford thing too much, but I think if Rashford picks the ball up on the halfway line, I think, well, he could do something on his own here. He's so fast. All right, Rashford's questionable sometimes. His final decision is questionable, but if Rashford picks it up in his own half, he can spin and hurt a team. Massive amount of pressure, expectation on Dan James and Martial to do that today, because I don't look at that team and say, look, Wan-Bissaka's playing as a wing back. He's no good going forward. Brandon Williams is good going forward, but he's going to have a big job on today with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah. Matic and Fred going forward, no, and Pereira doesn't really deliver. So I have concerns about how we're going to cause them problems. It almost feels like our quality of our team is basically probably like no better than than an Everton at the moment, and that what happens to them when they come to Anfield.
Do you know what? We need players which attract players to opposition players to the ball as well. If Rashford gets the ball, they double up, triple up. They know what he can do, and that creates space for other players on the pitch. Rashford is probably the only person that does that. Like when Pogba's playing, if you press Pogba, there's going to be space in other places on the pitch. Rashford gives us that as well. His movement, when he runs, he drags people across, he creates space for other attackers. We haven't really got that, because I don't think Martial's that guy either. He's quite static, but he's very good at holding the ball up, and he lays the ball off. He should be laying balls off to people who run past him, but who's going to run past him now? We've got one way of playing, and Marcus Rashford was essential to that one way of playing. Now we haven't got Marcus Rashford. Even our one way of playing looks like it's going to be slightly ineffective. So removing one 22-year-old striker from our only style of play cripples us. I mean, it's difficult to know where else we can break Liverpool down to be able to achieve a result in this game. But what we can do, I'm sure of, is stop them, because with the defensive shape and the defenders we've got, we can do that. So it's not going to be a high-scoring game. If it is, then it's on Ollie. But we'll have to see how the players play as well. But we're setting up to stop them, and if we can do that, we want to nick a goal. That's our predominant game plan.
A lot of people still think we're playing a 4-2-3-1. Look, I will change it if the game kicks off. I would never have predicted this team today. I would not have predicted that 11 in a million years. No way. I only predicted it last night because somebody told me what that team was, and that came directly from somebody who's in the United squad. So that's why we know what that team was before kick-off and knew it last night. And as part of that discussion, it was that Luke Shaw has been practicing as a left-sided centre-back, which is why we've gone with that. If we're not playing that, then
it's ridiculous, isn't it? Luke Shaw's been practicing as a left-sided centre-back for, what, 4 days?
Well, it shows you how bad Phil Jones must be, because...
He's shocking, isn't he? It shows that Ollie's finally clued up and thought, right, he's rubbish. And I don't know how for 9 years everybody else has been like, well, we'll give him another chance. At least Ollie's doing some good things with this squad. It's just the good things don't seem to be out on the football pitch. Now, hopefully today he can prove us wrong on that.
I hope so. I mean, teams should be getting 3 transfers through the season, says Sinnerman87. Marcus Rashford looks like he could be out for a while, according to the latest from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is obviously a concern. Vish Pancha says, I admit we are nowhere near Liverpool, but let's go out there and play for the badge and give those fools a competition. I'm predicting 2-1 to Manchester United. And I think that's very important to flip it round, Vish, and also to Paul and everybody as well. This isn't a normal game. This isn't like Wednesday night when if we play like this and we go, bloody hell, why are we playing 5 at the back and 2 holding midfielders against Burnley? They're shit and we're shit. But this is not really about the manager. This is not about the players. This is about something far bigger that's been going on for far longer. This is Manchester United Football Club against Liverpool, and I don't care about the team or Bruno Fernandes or Rashford's injury at the moment, because this is Manchester United against Liverpool, and all I want to see is, I would love to see Andres Pereira in the first 2 minutes absolutely get the ball and clatter Salah into the stands. I'll be there with him. I'll be up and that pumped for that. And Liverpool fans will be the same if one of their players clatters one of ours. And I think that's what I want to see today. I think it's going to take a shock, and it's going to be very difficult. But I do think that we've got to show some fight. We can't be placid. We can't be standoffish. We've got it. They might be a better team. They've definitely got a better coach. But it is 11 men against 11 men, and we can rough them up a bit. And I think that is something we've got to do, because if we go toe to toe ability, we'll lose. We're not good enough. We're not coached well enough. We're not tactically good enough. We've not got the players that are good enough. But if we go toe to toe them physically and start roughing them up a bit, I just want to see a bit of that, Paul. That's what I want to see. I don't want to. I want to come off that at the end and say, well, at least those players who aren't good enough, they bloody had a fight, and maybe they get something out of it. And as Matty Jones says, Ollie's got to go with what he has. It's on the board. But yeah, just answer that one, that first bit there, on how you'd like the game to be approached. Because and then I will say as well, with regards to Rashford, it shouldn't be a big deal. It is a big deal because we've got no squad depth.
Yeah, there's any way possible. We don't care how we win this game, just win it. But there's also a way to lose this game, Mark, and that's with passion, fight, 100% commitment, tackles flying in, nobody bottling it, everybody putting in their 100% effort, because it is this Man United versus Liverpool at Anfield, and it has to be done. Don't get intimidated by the crowd. That's the way to lose this if we are going to lose. Whereas if we lose by going 1-0 down, dropping our heads, letting Liverpool spank us, and then beating us, even by a few goals or not, but beating us in effort, beating us in backing their own ability. That's how we don't want to lose this game, because then we'll get on Ollie's back, and then we'll get on the team's back. If we get beaten fair and square, fair enough, because at the moment, the unfortunate truth is Liverpool are a better team, and they're playing better football, and they're possibly the best team in Europe at the moment. So if we lose in the right way.
Exactly, couldn't say it any better. I think we're playing a 4-4-2 variation. Williams on the left, James on the right, maybe even 4-5-1 overload midfield. Positive vibes, says Jonathan Matthews. I think without the ball, we're going to play very, very deep and get everybody on the ball. And with the ball, I don't know. It's going to look, ultimately, we're all talking about this, that and the other. It could just be the game kicks off and you go, wow, Liverpool are just way better than us. Look at them. That could happen. I don't know how it's going to go, but what I want to see, and I know Liverpool and Manchester are not the same city, and I know we've both got our own individual derbies, but to me, Liverpool-Manchester United is the biggest game in England, and it has been for years. It's all, look, I'm not from Manchester, I'm not, and maybe if you're from Manchester, Man City is your biggest game, but for me, as a United fan, all my life, Liverpool has always been the biggest game, because their success, their history echoes ours, and that rivalry's there. So this is a derby as far as I'm concerned. And I've seen over the years, Paul and everybody at home, I've seen United when we were dominant play Liverpool, and we wouldn't always win. It was always a tough game. So yeah, Liverpool are the dominant team now, but that doesn't mean we've got to make it easy for them.
Yeah, minimum requirement is maximum effort. They know what it means. We know what it means. The managers know what it means. they know what they have to portray on that pitch today, and that is 100% commitment and showing everybody that they want to win it, not just drop their heads if they go 1-0 down. We fight back, and that's what's got to be shown. So the commitment has to be there. Everybody knows what this game is. It's always built up into a huge game. There's a quote just come out from Roy Keane. I'm not watching it, but he said, when I see people like Luke Shaw coming back into the team, the more I look at players warming up with their silly hats on, I'm worried.
Yeah.
I mean,
says it how it is.
He does, doesn't he? He's funny. But, Roy Keane goes over the top in terms of what we require. But it's not going to be pretty if we win this. This is one of the games where you don't care if it is or not. But if we win this 1-0 by parking the bus, again, the bigger picture, does it show any progression with our style of play? Are we getting better as a team? No, we just won this game. And then, like us, we have to win the next 2 or 3 to be able to cement that. And will we do that? Who knows what we'll do, Mark, because we're all over the shop. And we're not buying anybody else, apparently. Where does that leave us? I mean, one problem stacks on top of the other, and it doesn't bode well for the rest of the season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does it? Let's face it.
No, and I do think that, you do hear a lot about Pochettino, and there's this leak about us getting a director of football, Campo, who I would really like us to get, and I think he'd be very good. I think, but it just to me sounds like United are starting to put things in place for another manager in the summer, i.e. Poch. I've been told that we've had talks with Poch already. I don't know how much weight to put on that, because it's not, it's people telling me this, but I look at the rest of the season, and George Carl, one of the moderators, was saying in the group chat last night that United are on course to get about 56 points at the end of the season, which is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And the thing is, yeah, let's get Bruno Fernandes in, I think we will, but the squad is still going to get tired, and it still hasn't got the depth, and it's still got a very hard end to the season. We've still got to go to Leicester, we've got to go to City, have got to come to Old Trafford in the league. We're here at Anfield today. We've got to go to Leicester. I've said them. We've got to go to Chelsea. We've got a few hard games in the league. We're going to have Europa League back, so we're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday again. And to me, it's not rocket science that this squad we're going to have a lot more injuries in February and March, basically. And Ollie needs to go on one in the second half of the season to even try and get top 4. And I think, it's only because teams like Chelsea are so inconsistent that we're still in a race for top 4. I mean, we can lose today and still only be 5 points off top 4. And if Arsenal get a result on Tuesday against Chelsea and we beat Burnley, we could be 2 points off top 4, which is a ridiculous situation. But it is going to be interesting. I mean, one thing I wanted to ask you, Josh Sutton and everybody as well, says, do you think we will get so desperate we'll recall Sanchez? I don't think so, as that's more out-of-pocket cash in wage. I don't know whether we can on that. And Martial can create a goal for himself. He just doesn't have the chance when he plays up front. Remember his goal against Fulham, Luke Johnson. I think you're spot on there with Martial. If he's playing off the left, he's running at somebody. If he's playing up front, he's got his back to somebody, which is very hard to score an individual goal. But I do think it's going to be I'm one of those fans who, look, I just want to beat Liverpool today, but in the bigger picture, I'm realistic that things could get a lot worse before they get better. But today isn't about that for me. Today is about, it's almost like a cup final, really. Let's go out there. One thing these players can do is give us a glimpse into the future. Have you got balls? And I can say that because they're all men. It's not sexist to say that. Have you got steel? Have you got a backbone? Have you got a fight? Will your head drop if you against a team that's way better than you, or do you get what wearing that badge is all about? And I just suspect that United team doesn't have that leadership, but I would like to see it today.
Yeah, I suspect they haven't either, but I don't know who's going to lead the line for that. Harry Maguire, apparently, because he's our new club captain, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. But yeah,
what do you think about Harry Maguire as new captain? Actually,
I can't see it as it's not a bad move, because who else is there? I mean, there's no competition, is there? Whoever he gave club captain to, there would have been question marks. So he may as well give it to a future captain so he can grow into the role, rather than a current captain that everyone can bitch and moan about because he's past it and Deadwood, etc., etc. And Dave can't be captain. He doesn't say a word.
No. I mean, actually, I saw some quotes from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his embargoed section last night, and he was saying that we've got leaders, we've got De Gea, we've got Harry Maguire, we've got Scott McTominay, we've got Marcus Rashford, and I was like, I can find a problem with all of those. Rashford's young, Scott McTominay's young, and we don't know how will he be a first teamer or will he be a squad player? We don't know that yet. De Gea's a goalkeeper and he is too quiet. Maguire's only been here 5 minutes, so it's not what I mean. This is one of the big reasons I would like us to get Bruno Fernandes, because he is a leadership character.
This is one of the big problems. It's all this look into the future. We've got future captains. McTominay, Rashford, Maguire is a future captain, but we've had to make him captain now. We've got youngsters that are in the future are going to be fantastic and world class. In the future, we're going to buy players. In the future, over the next 3 transfer windows, we're going to get 2 midfielders. You know, you can't bank on the future. You can't bank on all these kids coming through and being fantastic, and creating, killing positions that we need to fill. All this future talk, you've said it before, it's all talk until it comes to fruition. So this future talk, it's just rubbish in me. I'll just get bored of it. We need Bruno Fernandes now. We need somebody else on loan in this transfer window, and then next transfer window we need to build on top of that. And also we need, at the moment...
Oh, he's gone.
At the moment. But that's the bigger picture, Mark. Today, at Anfield, 100% commitment. I don't know if he's picked the right team or the right formation, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the United players in the tunnel there, and it just all looks a bit like a bit of a smile, and it's so hard. Look, you can't compare any team to the team that had Roy Keane and Scholes and Giggs and everybody in it, but just the aura that they give off. United just look like they're waiting for a bus. They've got hands on their hips. They just don't inspire me. This is a cup game, and I would like to see a bit of bloody steel, but maybe that's a subconscious thing that I'm just so negative about what we actually are as a club at the moment. But Liverpool, even with their bloody tracksuit jackets, they just look classier than us, don't they? And
they're all lined up, they're all ready to go, and we're standing around, like we're waiting for a bus. It's like a lineup trying to get into a club, before, when you get in for free at 10:30. Everyone's just standing there, looks bored. But I think gone are the days, Mark, of the Roy Keanes and the Vieiras in the tunnel. It's just everybody knows each other now. Everybody interacts. They didn't have social media. The lines of communication weren't as good as they are nowadays. Everyone's in group chats now, and you think there are only group chats in between clubs? No, the group chats in between different clubs and everybody.
All right, Paul, I will get you on at half time, but thanks for joining me for the first bits, and hopefully, I'm very excited about this one. We will have some exciting things to discuss at half time as well.
Yeah. I'm just getting nervous now, mate. So, fingers crossed half time will be all good. I'll see you then.
Cheers. Speak to you in a bit, mate. That's Paul, one of our moderators. He's in the live chat. You can interact with him in there. Ketil Christopher Solberg says, in my opinion, it's wrong to see how many points we have, but rather look at what position we have in the table. We have to measure with regards to every other team. 5th place cannot be so bad. Bit of positivity there. And Mohammed Ishmael says, how sad is it that if we pull off a win, Ollie gets no credit for it? The hatred for Ollie is beyond belief. Mohammed, I think you're pretty much in the minority with that opinion. I think if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer pulls off a win today, he will get a lot of praise for it, none more so than most people in the live comments. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you can do that. The United Stand, biggest United fan channel in the world. And we have fan call-ins, we have fan cams after the game. We're live for every match with the match chat, match reactions, previews, transfer news, the lot. Always interactive, as you can see. Got a website now as well, unitedstand.com, Twitter, Instagram, the lot. So get involved. You're very welcome. Bottom right-hand corner, subscribe and get involved. And just before we get to kick-off, I did want to just go back to something which was on the Smarter Scout website. If I can just get it up for you. That's what she said. Let me show you this. So Smarter Scout, free to use, link in the video description, or I think you get about 5 searches a month. Five a day. Hello. You get about 5 a day, and you can also get the you can get the premium version of it, where you get unlimited and deeper access. But you can get that free for 30 days with our code that we've got there. But what I wanted to just have a quick look at for you here is if I search by club and go to Manchester United. Manchester United, 216 results. I'm just going to knock this down a bit. So everybody's played about 600 minutes. Luke Shaw was what I wanted to look at. Duel ratings for Luke Shaw. Aerial duels in open play, 51. Ground duels in possession 52. Ground duels out of possession 29. So ground duels out of possession is when he's tackling 29. Ground duels in possession is when he's got the ball 52. Aerial duels in open play 51. So some people would say, well, that's not great when you compare it to someone like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Remember, this is a score out of 100. Ground duels out of possession 48. Ground duels in possession 67. So actually, 48 isn't particularly a bad score, around 50. So he's not that bad there. And obviously he's way better in open play in aerial duels than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So what I'm trying to say is that Luke Shaw, and let's have a look at Harry Maguire as well. Luke Shaw is statistically ground duels out of possession 42. Aerial duels in open play 90. So his stats actually aren't terrible in comparison to other Manchester United defenders. What I'm trying to say is I think that Luke Shaw does get a bit of a bad ride. But let's see how he does today. And let's see how Manchester United do start this game in the first few minutes. Because we are about to kick off and it's on. It's on like peak tongue. And we're off. And let's see. Yeah, as I said, the first 20 minutes, we've got to get through it. So United, I'm trying to keep an eye on here as to how. Oh, Alisson's just kicked it out straight for a throw-in. So United, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I can't see enough of the defensive line at the moment. Sorry, the timer is up and running. I've just not clicked it for you. Oh, I have. I know what I've done. There we go. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka's definitely playing far up the pitch. Yeah, Luke Shaw. Thank you, everybody. Luke Shaw, left-sided centre-back. It's not a back four at all. Brandon Williams is playing left side. Harry Maguire is playing central. We're playing spread 3. It's exactly as I said on there. Right, let's see how we get on. Mane on the attack there. Good tackle by Lindelof. United got a free kick here. Now, this is very important. This is very important for Manchester United. We've won a free kick here. This is on the right-hand side. We can whip a ball into the box. Aerial duels. Alisson, I don't think he's very good at these. We've got Harry Maguire. Joe Gomez, not particularly good in the air. Trent Alexander-Arnold, not particularly good in the air. Andy Robertson, not particularly good in the air. What we're looking for here, and to be fair, Liverpool are playing a very high line right on the edge of their box. But let's just see if we can whip a decent ball in. Oh, what we've done, some short shit. Absolutely terrible. Short one, right? And then whipped in a low cross. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant that was from Manchester United. But not a bad start. I'm being sarcastic about the free kick, but not a terrible start from Manchester United so far. Quite frenetic, and yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, we're definitely playing that sort of back five with two holding midfielders. Martial playing to the left and Dan James playing to the right. And ref's not giving offside. If you can play that quick enough. Oh, good cross by Dan James. Martial is walking into the net, not happy. I think he wanted that cross a little bit quicker. But Liverpool have started off a little bit shaky here. And United's formation may be causing them a little bit of problems at the moment. Wan-Bissaka into the box. That's going to go for a goal kick. Decent start from United so far. Good start from United. Just looking at this here, Dan James. He would have been onside. Andy Robertson was playing him well onside. It's a good forward ball by Matic, and Dan James. I think that's a shit cross. He's got to get that into Martial's path. I think from the angle that we saw it, he thought, oh, he's done as well as he could. But there was an opportunity for him to put a cross into the box, and Martial would have had a potential tap in. But yeah. Liverpool looking a bit shaky at the moment. But now it's Firmino out to Mane. Need Wan-Bissaka to be working back here. We don't want to see Wan-Bissaka, Mane up against Lindelof, which is what we see at the moment. Look at how many men United have got back in that box, though. And an early corner for Liverpool here. Tense. It's absolutely tense. How are we feeling, everybody? Fasten your seatbelts. I'm happy with that start. It's been decent. Short corner from Liverpool. Robertson's going to whip it in, get it away. Luke Shaw with the header, you see. It's good in the air, Luke Shaw. I'm in the Luke Shaw Appreciation Club. It has one member, it's me. But I think that Luke Shaw, I'd rather see Luke... I mean, here's a question for you. Would you rather see Luke Shaw playing at left centre-back or Phil Jones? Because we were looking at that on the Smarter Scout website, weren't we? Luke Shaw, actually, his tackle rate without the ball is as good as Harry Maguire's. And his aerial duels is way better than anybody in the team apart from Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. So, aerial ability. So, I think Luke Shaw, I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw. I know not everybody is, but there you go. And I'd rather see him playing than Phil Jones. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We're live every night, 8 o'clock, fan cams, match reactions, transfer news. Been a busy, busy week. I'm sure it'll be a busy week next week. I think the Bruno Fernandes stuff will kick in again. And on top of that, please share the video if you could. Underneath, share button. But United... Oh, Matic stuck there, but Luke Shaw will let it go. I tell you what, I think this game... we're going to lose a few calories in this game because my heart rate is up. The excitement is up. This is it. This is what it's all about. This is Liverpool, Manchester United, people. This is... It doesn't matter who's playing for United. You got to get behind him, and Matic is gone high there on Wijnaldum. Nothing in it. Won't be a yellow card. Genuine attempt for the ball. Matic is saying, come on, let's grow up. Just stretches his foot for a high ball. Kicks Wijnaldum in the face. Fair play. I'd say play on, but... oh, he's booking him! Oh, shut up! Shut up! Get out, ref! Go and sniff some grass. You bloody cow, if that even means anything. That's ridiculous. Nemanja Matic booked for that. Ref's having a bloody joke. And that's just a joke, that is. What a stupid yellow card. And a header just gone wide there. Luke Shaw is decent. I don't get the hate, says Nick Warren. I think just some people just don't rate him, but whatever. Poor defensively marking there from United. I don't know. I think that's Harry Maguire must be picking up Van Dijk. It was a high foot by Matic, but I think just let it go. There was no malice in it. It's a big game. Liverpool starting to get a foothold in this game at the moment. Dan James really needs to develop a final cross if he's going to be starting winger. Very poor, says Alligator. Yeah, look, Dan James early doors, really good chance to put a cross in and put in Martial for a chance. And I'm going to take a note of that actually, because that could be something that we remember later in the game. But I like the fact that we've got two up front. It's a shame we haven't got Rashford today, but I like the fact that we've got two up front because I think it gives us something on the break with a bit of pace. Good pressing from Pereira here, but we're 8 minutes in. I think the first thing we said is United have got to get through the first 20 minutes. Get through the first 20 minutes. Happy days. And they're There you go, Brandon. Move into the space. Forward passes. Forward passes. Matic, good ball. Down that line. Dan James wants it down the line now. Oh, come on. You've got to move the ball quicker. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is one of the big... You know, I've got to say this. Wan-Bissaka is one of my favourite players for United. But I criticise Matic for it. And just to show it's not an agenda, Aaron Wan-Bissaka doesn't move the ball quick enough either. He had an opportunity to hit it down the lane there for Dan James to run on. He took too many touches. And go on. Foul? Yellow card? No. Robertson got the ball. Animated. I think I'm going to be very animated in this game. I apologise because when I used to watch Liverpool Manchester United games on the telly, I just stand up the whole time. I can't sit down. It's just I get cold, goosebumps. It's just very, very agitated game because it matters. There again, that's the ball. He's played it right that time. Just not a very good pass into the flank. Dan James. That's the ball to play, Aaron. That's the ball to play. Firefist A says James can't cross to save his life. He can't cross his legs, mate. No, I think he has got it in him. I think the first 2 or 3 months he was putting lots of decent balls into the box that people weren't getting after. Over the last month or so, his crossing seems to have deserted him a little bit. But yeah, a lot of people still talking about the formation, saying it's a 4-5-1. It's not. Wan-Bissaka and Luke. Look at the formation next to me. That's what we're playing. Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams, when we've got the ball, are playing very high up the pitch. When we've not got the ball, it drops to a back five. So it's like a 3-5-2 basically. When we have got the ball, and then it becomes a 5-3-2 when we haven't got the ball. I thought Ollie was asleep then. He's looking down at the monitor. I thought he was like this. It's not. It's Liverpool Manchester United, Ollie. Wake up and enjoy it. Hey, we've had 58% possession in the first 10 minutes. So I would say that this game has started very similar to the Old Trafford game, where we sort of caught Liverpool out, and we're stopping them playing through. I've said this before. I think Jose Mourinho didn't play the 5-3-2 enough because it's almost like a cheat code formation because you get 2 up front, you pack the midfield, you get the width with the fullbacks, and you get lots of defensive cover as well. I just don't think we've used it particularly well under Ollie, but Mourinho used to be very good at it, and it is a formation that can work well. It worked really well for us under Ollie for the first half at Old Trafford, and is TAA, I'm just going to call him Tar, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good tackle by Fred, but it's opened up a little bit now for Liverpool, and if you can switch it to Robertson. Good covering by Lindelof. So United defending well at the moment. 12 minutes gone and it's 0-0, says the badge man. Woohoo! Yeah, we'll take that. Look at that. Red sky at night, Shepherd's delight. So, I mean, look, one of the things about Liverpool I would say as well is that a lot of people think, oh, Liverpool, they just smash you. They don't. I've seen Liverpool play a few times this season. Sheffield United before Christmas didn't really deserve to win it. Deflected goal, 1-0. Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool are ever going to win this game 3 or 4-0. I'm not saying they're not going to win the game, but I never thought they were going to win 3 or 4-0. But what Liverpool are very good at is grinding the results. That's why they're top of the league. They can get a result playing badly as well. Good play by Martial here. Go on. Oh, he's got to go into that tackle there. Martial's bottled that a little bit. That's a 50-50 tackle with Joe Gomez. Go into the bloody tackle. He's got to go into that tackle. In a game like this, go into it. You might lose it. Oh, Dan James! Martial's made a great run there and he just doesn't get his final ball right. He would have been in 1-1 on... It was a tough pass, to be fair. It was a tough pass to be played. And he saw the pass. That's the main thing. But I wish he'd bloody made it. Andy Robertson. They're starting to get Andy Robertson in the game a lot. Well done, Luke Shaw. Gets up under that. Heads it away as well. Chamberlain, corner to Liverpool. We're defending well at the moment. I'm pleased with the lads. I'm pleased with the lads. It's a shame Rashford's not playing the guy. It really is a shame that Rashford's not playing. I think on the break. And they're just showing that pass from Dan James there. It was a tough pass to play. It's a shame he didn't. He's had 2 opportunities now to put Martial in a great chance. But he's failed on both occasions. But I think we're doing well at the moment. We're defending well. I don't like our zonal marking on corners. I do not like the zonal corner marking on corners. And that's why I don't bloody like zonal marking on corners. Couldn't mark a piece of paper with shitty hands and it's 1-0. Zonal marking does not work. That is a bloody joke. That is awful. I cannot believe that. We've started really well. What? Rewind that back and say, I hate United zonal marking. You've just had it handed on a plate to you, Ollie, there. When are you going to bloody learn? Liverpool haven't even had to work hard for that. They barely got out of bed. They haven't even brushed their teeth and they're 1-0 up. That is shocking because we're zonal marking. What's Brandon Williams doing on Van Dijk? You see what I mean? He's got the jump on Harry Maguire because we're zonal marking. I bloody hate our coaches. They are useless. Do not zonal mark. That is such an easy goal for Liverpool to score. Bloody ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How many weeks have we been talking about zonal marking? You've got to man mark. Harry Maguire should be magnetic to Van Dijk there. That is a joke. Why are fans highlighting these things? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They haven't even had to break sweat and we're 1-0 down. What did we say about not giving up a goal in the first 20 minutes? They've not even had to work for that. It's a deflected bloody cross, corner, and they just whip something in and Van Dijk says, I'll have that for breakfast. Joke. Absolute joke. That is I don't even blame the players because that's coming from the coaching ground, that is. Zonal marking at this level. Disgraceful. Absolutely bloody disgraceful. That is so frustrating. So frustrating. We started off well as well. Oh, fucking hell. I can't emphasise how annoyed I am by that. It's so avoidable. It's such an avoidable situation. Oh. It's pathetic. That's what it is. It's pathetic. You're meant to be fighting and you're just giving him a free header. As long as you put a decent cross in there, Van Dijk doesn't have to do anything. It's so easy. I can't begin to tell you how annoyed I am by that. I don't even blame the players. You can't blame De Gea. You can't blame Harry Maguire. They've been told on the training ground, let's zonal mark. And I said this a couple of weeks ago. If you zonal mark, then they've got the run on you. They've got the run on you. And that's what's happened. I've changed the score now. I was messing about. So annoying. Ollie doesn't deserve Bruno. Clown level coaching needs to go. Stop the legend protection. Any other coach would have been out by now. I'm enraged, says Alligator. It's just annoying because we started off quite well and we've been talking about this for weeks. Zonal marking. And again, Harry Maguire's having real problems with Van Dijk. This is our captain and he's struggling with Van Dijk big time. Actually, he defends quite well there to be fair to Harry. Oh, it's so irritating. It's so irritating when as fans you see things. And it's not even today. We've been talking about how bad we are at defending from corners. Zayn Miassi just says goal. Well, he would do, wouldn't he? Well, we've just got to try and reset and go again now. Bloody hell. You can't be giving soft goals away in a game like this, though, can you? That's the bloody thing. You can't. All we wanted to do was get through 20 minutes. 20 minutes, keep them out. And now they've got their bloody tails up. Cock of the walk. And my worry is that United's heads will drop now. You know, when you've got something to defend, you've got something to defend. We ain't got anything to defend now. Why are we pressing against Liverpool? We don't press any other team. Surely the only game we should be counter-attacking is this one. Says it's October. I've got to be honest. I've got no problem with the tactics today. I've got no problem with the formation. That's not why we've conceded. I think that in the first 10 minutes, we looked, if Dan James had played Martial in twice, he would have had 2 one-on-one chances. So, it was fairly equal. That's why the goal is so annoying. It's not because Liverpool have been the better team. I don't think they have. It's the fact that Liverpool get a corner from a deflected bloody block and nobody's marking on the corner. And we've seen this for ages. And what we need to do now is get over that. That's a coaching ground error. There's not an individual error there. None of the players are at fault. That is a coaching ground error, and that is what's caused the problem. You can already see the drop in the squad, says Christopher Lewin. Yeah, this is what concerns me a little bit, is that the players might just drop their heads a little bit. But it's 1-0. Andres Pereira is down injured at the moment, which is a concern. See what happens with Pereira. Hopefully he's all right. It's a poor coaching decision that's cost us that. Yeah, I agree. It's nothing to do with the players. They can only do what they're told to do. Even it doesn't matter who you are. Harry Maguire can't say, no, we're not playing zonal marking. That's what your coaches tell you to do. City game again, says Paul Roscoe 11. Look, we need to show some. We need to show some bloody concentration now, and just get to half time and keep it like this. I mean, if we can get a goal back, great. But we just need to keep our heads and keep doing what we've been doing, because we started off quite well, but there seems to be more and more gaps appearing in our lines between defence and attack here. How is that not a foul on Luke Shaw? This ref's awful as well. Craig Pawson, get in the bin. Awful start to the ref by the referee as well. I don't know how that's not a foul on Luke Shaw. He's having a joke. Matic will get sent off, guarantee, says Carl Williams. That is a worry. I don't think it was a yellow card on Matic for the first one. I mean, technically, he'll be able to point to his little rule book and say dangerous foot, but come on. When Neville and Carragher are both questioning why we're using zonal marking, there's a problem. Everyone but our coaches can't see this. Joke. Jay, is that what they're saying on the telly as well? It's always good, isn't it? Because I don't listen to the commentary of the match, because we're all interacting on here. And, people like Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, they're both, high-level ex-defenders. And if they're noticing what we've been talking about as well, that we're zonal marking on I can't say to you how easy that goal was for Liverpool. They'll have been thinking it was Christmas again. Like, Van Dijk has got a 10-yard run on Harry Maguire. That's why he wins it. Harry Maguire does go to attack it because it's in his zone. But Van Dijk's got... I don't know whether everybody knows what zonal marking is. So zonal marking means you don't mark your man, you mark a zone. So Harry Maguire, where he stood now, he's marking a square. Van Dijk will attack that square, but he'll attack it with a 10-yard run-up. So his jump is going to be higher on Harry Maguire, who's only in his little square. That's why you just shouldn't zonal mark. You should just mark your man. Harry Maguire should be stood with Van Dijk on the edge of the box, dealing with him from there. It's far more effective. Zonal marking is a joke if teams know how to exploit it. And Liverpool did it very, very easily there. I don't know who whipped the cross in. Was it Trent Alexander-Arnold or Robertson? I'm not sure. But it was a very easy goal. And that is down to the coaches, I'm afraid. We should not be zonal marking at this level. And in fairness, over the last month, we've been doing it a lot. And we've been having a lot of problems from corners. Who was it? Was it Watford? That was Arsenal as well. Zonal marking, corner goal. If we had Bruno for Liverpool, it's a different game. Got everything in his game, pays the money and signed the player, so smash. Well, we could have been 2-0 down there. Luke Shaw is having an absolute superb game. Fred here, I don't know what he's doing. He basically plays Mane in. And Mane, what a tackle by Luke Shaw. Give him some love. I think Luke Shaw has been brilliant. I'm going to tweet that. So it's another corner though. And it's Brandon Williams with a good header there. Well up, well up. I don't know what the referee's doing here. The referee's played on. 2-0! Like, what the hell is going on here? What is going on here? What's this referee doing? David De Gea wants some with the ref as well. I think this referee is a joke, people. I am absolutely stunned what's going on here. De Gea wants to knock him out, don't we all? I don't even know what's going on. Couldn't find his way out of a bloody lift, this ref. He's bloody useless. Get down Specsavers, you clown. If he does not give this, it's a blatant foul. Sort yourself out. You're out of control, mate. You're pissed. Get him a breathalyzer. He's giving David De Gea a yellow card as well. That is a foul. We're having a foul for that, you bloody twat. Awful referee. Absolute joke. And now De Gea's getting a yellow card because you can't do your job, mate. That is a blatant foul on David De Gea. He's trying to catch the ball and Van Dijk takes him out. That's a foul. De Gea's gone over him to said, and all he said is, you're no good at your job, and he gets a yellow card for it. Yeah, you're going to look a right mug now. Yeah. You bloody idiot. Yeah, you bloody idiot. Sit down, Bucking De Gea. And Maguire's right to point his finger at him. Oh, you know, I'm not having a go at United for conceding that second goal. It's a good finish by Firmino, but that's a bloody foul. That is a foul every day of the week and Sunday. And the referee has gone, oh, let's play on, let's play on. Bloody idiot. Fair play, De Gea, for having a go at him. He's incompetent. I think this ref's had a bad game so far. Ollie, happy to support Woodward and Glazers if he gets to keep his job. I've lost all respect for him. He's part of the problem, not the solution. He's enabling the pillaging of this club. Well, everything's happening in this game at the moment. It's exciting. I just wish we could get back into it a little bit more, because I think the tempers are tempers are going in this game. This is proper. This is a proper bloody game. Come on, lads, let's get up for it. I likes that from De Gea, trying to get at the ref. He's right. Bit of bloody passion. I want to see that. It's 1-0. It's not a goal. Zayn Miassi have just wasted 20 quid. It's not one. It's 1-0. It's not 2-0. De Gea going in on the referee for being incompetent. Mark Ollie should have taken off Williams and put Greenwood in once it was 1-0. Back to 4-3-3 with Greenwood, Martial and James. Back three works if it's still 0-0. Salah's into the box though. Stand him up, Brandon. Oh, I tell you what. Could have been 2-0 there, Firmino. It's hard to see where it's going wrong for United at the moment. We need to change something. I mean, Matic and somebody's lost Firmino there. I just don't know how the referee played this on. It was such a blatant foul, and it's caused a lot of problems, to be honest with you. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We'll be live afterwards with a match reaction, and we've got all the fan cams as well. United are a little bit on the ropes at the moment. I've got to be honest. We need to hang on here, try and get to half-time, because we're a little bit on the ropes, and Mane tries to go in on Wan-Bissaka there. He's given a foul as well. It's a corner, mate. No, it's a corner. Bloody hell. It's not 2-0, Turo. It's not 2-0, it's 1-0. Chill out. I'll tell you what, this is one of the most enjoyable games I've watched for United, and we're losing. Because there's a little bit of fight in there. There's a little bit of something about it. Come on, you lads. Let's try and get something going on the attack. Come on. Passing needs to improve. Go on, Brandon. Jan James, get down that bloody line. You've got to find an out ball. Got to find an out ball. We're getting smothered here. It's too easy for Liverpool to win the ball back. Wouldn't it be something if we found out Liverpool has been in match-fixing scandals, says Brandon Sollock. We can dream. We can dream. This will be anything Liverpool want it to be. Ollie's got to go, says Stephen Bahari. I'm behind the players at the moment. I think the players are doing quite well. I just think that tactically that goal, it should never have happened. That's from the coaches, that is. But I think the players are doing quite well. They're showing a bit of fight. I think Luke Shaw's played brilliantly at left centre-back. And I think defensively we've done quite well. We've just been undone by a training ground thing with zonal marking. And anybody... Look at this from Luke Shaw. Unlucky with the pass. Brandon Williams has got to be pushing on there. Luke Shaw can't be doing that as the left-sided centre-back. Worrying when the game could be won and lost with a ref that seems to be incompetent, especially when he's making blatant poor decisions like that, says Samuel Walsh. Yeah, shocking by the ref. The fact, David De Gea should have his yellow card taken off him as well. Because he's only highlighting what an incompetent fool he is. Craig Pawson is a championship referee at best, says Johnny Wilson. Liverpool are starting to take control at the moment, though. United are offering nothing on the attack, and we're going to end up with some really embarrassing stats. No shot on goal yet, of course. I don't think we've had a touch in their penalty box yet. Come on. Oh, passing's awful. Come on, Anthony. You get the ball from a mistake. You've got to do better than that. Passing's been really bad from United so far. We're 150 subscribers away from 633,000. So if you've not subscribed, bottom right-hand corner, please do. And look, how do we get back into this game? Get in the live comments. Give us your thoughts. How do you get back into this game if you're Manchester United at the moment? We're not doing anything on the attack. We've had no touch of the ball in the penalty box. We've had no shot on goal. I think defensively we've looked okay, but Liverpool are starting to go through the gears now. And United are passengers, and I think their heads are dropping a little bit because it's 1-0. And unfortunately, Fred and Matic are just being bypassed too easily at the moment. What's embarrassing for us is the amount of people in the chat saying Liverpool when VAR just cancelled out a Liverpool goal, says Liam Smith. Well, there's no problem with the... Oh, look at that. That looked like a foul as well, and he's let it go. I'm Ollie out, but how much do we miss Pogba and a player like Bruno? I also believe we have technical players, but our mindset is negative. Bad coaching, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath. Yeah, the first goal for Liverpool's got nothing to do with VAR. That's just United gifting them a goal. The second goal, VAR was correct because the referee... I don't know how the referee didn't see that. The worrying thing is that the referee should be seeing that. That shouldn't take VAR for that. I mean, the scary thing is, if we didn't have VAR, he would have given that goal. Last year, that would have been a goal for Liverpool. It's scary, isn't it? Really scary. But United need to try and get a foot. They're a little bit like if this was a boxing match, they've had a killer blow. Not a killer blow because they'd be dead. They've had a knockout blow. No, not that because they'd be knocked out. They've had a punch to the face and they're looking like they're going to lose. But they just need to steady themselves, get their feet, go through a couple of rounds, keep it level, and then find our way back. Because at the moment, it's a terrible ball by Brandon Williams. But that's Dan James. Make the run now, now. Oh God. He's not making the runs. Fred's running at the back four there. He's got to make the run. He doesn't make the bloody run. Well in by Brandon Williams. What? This ref's a joke. He's awful. He's absolutely awful. I'm telling you, this ref is a joke. I've just said it twice. Ref is awful. Awful. He is awful. I've said it so many times, but he is. He's given us nothing and giving them the benefit of the doubt all the time. They're going to win the league anyway, mate. You don't need to help them anymore. We need the ref to give Ollie a red card. Fergie could come down from the director's box and do it with his eyes closed. That's from the mystery man. And Liverpool doing a good job covering Fred and having 3 players around each player, says Naveen Nazi. Oh, Liverpool are a good team and they work very hard as well. And they're well organised. We need to go back to 4-3-3 and bring on Greenwood, says the bit W. I mean, the trouble with that is we'll just get swamped. Oh, my life. Nobody wants the ball at the moment. How's he not given a foul on Fred there? I'm not joking. Even Liverpool fans, come on, you've got to say now. He's a joke. Fred just gets fouled by Henderson and he gives nothing. Oh, unbelievable. I can't say how bad this referee is. Ethan05, really sick of X-Team, has VAR on their side, to be honest. Look, I just think the ref is a disgrace in this game. Absolute disgrace. And I'm not taking anything away from Liverpool. They look like they're going to get the second goal anyway. But he is a joke. Absolute joke. He's given us nothing. The yellow card should definitely be rescinded against De Gea since it was a foul and the ref is an absolute gobshite, says BFMB79. I'm glad it's not just me. That one on Fred there, blatant foul, doesn't give it, plays on. Pool training game. Ollie needs to sub himself out, says Christopher. It is becoming a bit of a training game for Liverpool, to be honest with you. They are bossing it. We need to get to half time at 1-0 and see if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got anything tactically he can do. That's what we need. But I think the referee has been really, really bad. Ten minutes to half time. The thing is, we've had no shot on goal, we've had no touch in their penalty box, and it's 1-0. You know, we just need to hang in there and hope that we do get something. I tell you what, they're getting a lot of joy down our left-hand side today. Wan-Bissaka is getting caught out of position a hell of a lot. Left-hand side, Brandon Williams, Luke Shaw, they're doing really well. But Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka, the communication's not really there. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's getting caught out of position a lot. I don't think Wan-Bissaka likes a back five. And there it is! Is it offside? It's offside, bloody hell, thank God for that. Oh, I tell you what, they've scored again, Liverpool, but it's offside. Sit down, bloody lead singer from Led Zeppelin. I forget what your name is now. Not Led Zeppelin. He looked like him from behind. Yeah, it's offside. It's lucky it's offside, but it is offside. English referees, middle-aged, overpaid Tories, said Red Baron. It wasn't far offside, but it was offside. We are hanging on a little bit at the moment. Come on, United. Come on. Out of all the games ever, you've got the whole bloody fan base behind you. Come on. Let's do it. Let's get back into this game. Come on. I see Wan-Bissaka's just lost the ball to Wijnaldum there. Good interception by Harry Maguire. And again, get your slab head in the way. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Come on, get fighting. Come on, United. Come on. Matic. Pereira. Oh, go on, Fred. Go on, Matic. Move. Oh, it's too... Oh, it was the right ball by Matic, to be fair. Come on, lads. Bit of fight. That's what I want to see. It'll be a miracle to make it to half-time. 1-0 down, says Ninja Smurf United. We've got to. Well done, Luke Shaw. Good cover. Well done, Brandon Williams. Good turn. I'll tell you what, I think Williams and Shaw have been really good. Go on. Oh, come on. Where is Ollie? Where is the motivation, says Christopher Lou. English, in South America, this ref would have had his heart cut out after the game for all to see, says P. Oathgo. I don't agree with anything like that. And Joshua Keane, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Welcome, pal. You can do that by clicking the join button. But we've got 8 minutes to go till half time. Come on, United. I feel we can get back into this. We've had a few blows in this half. Not that sort. And Fred. We may need Mata. At least he can complete a pass, says Sean Atwood. I just think the game's too fast for Mata. That would be my problem. Somebody just said it should be 3-0. How many... two of your goals were definitely not goals, though, weren't they? You know. God, who else is feeling this? I think, in many ways, this is my favourite game of the season for United because I've never been so engaged and pumped up for it. I just don't care how we do it. Let's just get back into it and show a bit of bloody fight. You know, we've got a dodgy ref. It's our biggest rival. Let's give it some. Come on. Luke Shaw, foul, Salah. Weakness in the midfield, clear. Get the Bruno deal done now, says Ian Colton. Look, at the end of the day, you can put Jesse Lingard on second half. You can put Andres Pereira on first half. All they're going to do is run around. I mean, Pereira got the ball in a decent position there and he loses it. Man United 89 says, the ref is pissing me off leaving to Liverpool. We need Greenwood to stretch the back four. Our midfield is being overrun. We need some crunching tackles. And Hans Nilsson says, dude, why did you say I love... I don't know what you're on about, mate. Never think I gonna... Go on, Pereira. Needs to get the shot off. Oh, we just bloody tackled ourselves. That's Pereira for you. He gets tackled by James. Wide again. Look. Oh, Martial. I saw Alisson stood still. He shot. Pereira getting tackled by Dan James in the box doesn't help. It was quite a good run by Pereira. I mean, Dan James doesn't help him, to be fair. It comes to Martial. How close is this from Martial? Edge of the box. Not close at all, really. Never think I'm going to said this, but Shaw and Williams have been our best players so far, says Kelt Hudson. He's been really good, Luke Shaw. Really good. Imagine Bruno giving those 2 passes to Martial instead of James. We'd have 2 goals probably by now. I mean, to be honest, no player in the team seems to know how to control the ball from the first touch, says Shady Abinaz. I think our passing and control has been really poor in the attacking areas. Even Anthony Martial's not really been up to it. But, yeah, it is what it is at the moment. That's a good take by Pereira. Overlap. Brandon Williams. Overlap. Needs somebody in the box. Martial, what are you doing on the edge of the box? You're the bloody centre forward, mate. Wan-Bissaka. Oh, Pereira. What? I think he might have been offside anyway. It was a cross by Anthony Martial to the back post. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think, should score this himself. And on the back post, Andreas Pereira comes sliding in. And can't get on it. What a chance. Goes with the wrong bloody foot, you prat. Why is Andreas Pereira trying to go with his right foot when he can tap it in with his left? What a prat. That was a tap-in. He had a tap-in. Well, that was the chance for Manchester United. That should be 1-1. I don't know why he's sliding with his right foot. You go with your left. Oh, well. I don't have any nails left. I need Fergie's gum, says Ninja Smurf United. I tell you, it's been a good game. I'm sure Liverpool fans feel the same as well. Dan James is way out of his depth in these games, says Mike Cass. Jonathan Matthews, referee is shocking. Sunday League refs are better. They don't have to rely on VAR to do their jobs or influenced by drunken yobbos. And welcome to Punit Bavza, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Matthew McFadden, if Pereira had any dignity, he'd walk off now. He's always going to work hard, Matthew. I would have gone with Pereira over Mata and Lingard today. I mean, Mata would have been on the halfway line trying to get on the end of that. He just hasn't got the speed. And but this is why we need Bruno Fernandes. Is Ollie on the touchline ban, says Helt Hoberg? I don't know. 3 minutes to half time. I'll be happy if we go in at 1-0. We should be going in at 1-1. Right. This is better. Fred. Martial needs some help. Pereira. Wide. Dan James, Pereira. What? It's just clueless. It's just bloody clueless. You're trying to do stuff you're not good enough to do. Like, keep the ball. If the pass isn't on, keep the ball. Wan-Bissaka should have been getting the ball there. Oh, what? That? Oh, look at that by Luke Shaw. High ball up against Salah. Doesn't head it. Takes it down with his left foot. Wonderful left foot. What was that by Luke Shaw? I tell you what. If that was bloody Van Dijk, they'd be saying best defender in the world. That takedown by Luke Shaw under pressure in a one-on-one situation. Oh, I think we found our left centre-back. Brilliant. Absolutely superb that was. He's been brilliant this second half, Luke Shaw, I've got to say. Haters sit down. He has absolutely been brilliant. But I'm trying to calm down. Come on, lads. What was that by Matic? Actually, it's worked out quite well. It's just the angle of the camera. Well, I think Luke Shaw is about 6 foot, isn't he? So he could be a centre back. Pereira, you need to be playing that to Wan-Bissaka quicker than that. Oh, he's gone with a shot. Why do you shoot? You selfish Bournemouth player. You play for Bournemouth, mate. You're playing for Manchester United. In this situation, don't shoot. That is just ridiculous. What are you shooting for from there? Like, that is selfish. Bloody hell. Who's marking Mane here? What a save by De Gea with his feet. And Lindelof is saying to Wan-Bissaka, you've got to get back. But you've got to get tighter here, Victor. You've got to get tighter here. I mean, it should be 2-0. Good save by De Gea. Bloody hell. I tell you, it's a good game. Good game. It's at his feet, and he is good with his feet. But I highlighted this about 20 minutes ago as well. Wan-Bissaka is not comfortable in the back five. He doesn't get back quick enough. Brandon Williams and Luke Shaw have got it on lockdown down the left-hand side. Down the right-hand side, they're getting a lot of space for Mane. I don't know where Wan-Bissaka is. But another corner, and we're zonal marking again, as you can see. You can tell we're zonal marking because Harry Maguire is not marking anybody, and neither is Victor Lindelof. Oh, man. Two minutes added on, half time. And effectively, we are 1-0 down because of coaching. It's as simple as that. We are 1-0 down because of bad coaching. Zonal mark. This game would be 0-0. It would be 0-0. Another corner for Liverpool here. Trent Alexander-Arnold on it. This will probably be the last sort of action of the first half. And again, it's just we're really struggling under corners from Liverpool. Another cross coming in. That'll go for a goal kick. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you are going to have to earn your money at half-time. I think never more so will we be sat here saying, does he have an idea of what to do at half-time? Because second half, we are 1-0 down at half-time, and second half, we are going to have to try and produce something considerable. It's only 1-0. It could have been worse. The referee tried to make it worse. We probably deserve to be 1-0 down, although I think Andres Pereira was on, and he had a bloody tap-in, and he went with his right foot. Red Baron says, Mark, if we lose this game, do you think Ollie and co will be happy due to our effort levels? Probably. Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamat says, I like Dan James, but I feel bad for him. He doesn't deserve to be under so much pressure. From Swansea to Manchester United is not easy. He's an average player currently who needs a couple of years. And I agree with that. I think that Dan James' work rate is very, very good, but he's been used too much because we don't have enough depth. And that's the problem. He doesn't have the consistent quality at this level. Loving the Luke Shaw propaganda. Also can't wait for after the game if we lose for the Bruno brief that the deal's done, says Jack. Yeah, I would say that to you. I think if we lose this game, Bruno Fernandes will be signed very, very quickly. But I'll tell you what, I just want to say, Greenwood on, United can turn this around, says Highbury. I just want to say that's probably one of the most enjoyable games I've watched United play this season. And I think most of it is just because of the opposition and how much it matters and how passionate you get and how into it you get. I don't normally get like that watching United. It normally has you close to falling asleep. And that game, I don't know whether it's just the atmosphere of the game. I think if we were playing bloody Arsenal, I'd probably be just like, we're crap. But I just want United to get something out of this game. Passionately want United to get something out of this game. And to be honest with you, Liverpool fans might say it should be 3-0. Well, it shouldn't be. One was offside, one was a foul. Your first goal, can't argue about it, but that's a coaching error. That's zonal marking. We are 1-0 down because of zonal marking. And that's all you can say. We're losing this game because of coaching. And apparently Carragher and Neville said it on Sky. They're spot on. We've been talking about it for weeks. We are losing this game because of bad coaching. But other than that, I think Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams have been superb. I mean, that thing that Luke Shaw did at the end of the half, long ball to Mo Salah, instead of heading it away, takes it down with a touch and just walks out defence. We haven't got defenders who can do that. Harry Maguire can't take a ball down like that. He's won lots of things in the air, and I think what we highlighted on Smarter Scout at the start of the game, which we'll go back to in a minute with Luke Shaw, has proven brilliantly well. I think Brandon Williams has done well again. I think Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof just haven't worked out the communication. Shaw and Brandon Williams are working together to deal with Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. On the other side, Mane nearly made it 2-0 just before half-time. We don't know where Wan-Bissaka is. Wan-Bissaka's getting caught out of the screen a lot. Him and Lindelof need to sort that out. The last 12 touches from Pereira have been awful. Imagine if we had an even close to world-class CAM like Bruno, we'd be up by 2. And Shady Abenazer, as good as Aaron Wan-Bissaka is at 1v1 defending, I hate how he jogs back like he doesn't care every time we're under attack. Look where he was in that Mane shot. I don't even know that it's Wan-Bissaka's fault, Shady. I just think that what's happened is that he's struggled with. I think he works better in a 4-4-2. But let me just show you Smarter Scout website, link in the video description. You can do about 5 searches for free yourself and just use the website to look at stuff. You can also, if you want to get the premium version, unlimited, we've got a code SMARTER2020 you can use. Really good for your stats. It marks players out of 100 for lots and lots of different things. But we spoke about this before the game. If I go to the Manchester United team here, as you can see, attacking output's not one I want to look. Style ratings. Okay, so Harry Maguire, aerial duels, 90 out of 100. Very high score. Victor Lindelof, 28 out of 100. Quite a low score. But Luke Shaw is a 76. Luke Shaw is very good in the air. He's our third best player behind McTominay and Harry Maguire. And that has proven to be correct in this game so far. He's been absolutely superb, and the aerial duels have shown that. His link-up passing is 95, and he's shown that as well when he's come out from the back. His link-up passing has been very good. Better than Maguire, better than Lindelof at that. So, look, Luke Shaw has been really, really good, and it's not a surprise to me that when you click on Luke Shaw and you look at his duel ratings in relation to tackles, ground duels when he's not got the ball, 29, not particularly great. But aerial duels in open play, 51. So if you compare that, 51 and 29, to somebody like a Victor Lindelof, 33. So 29 and 33 is not much different, and duels in open play, not much different either. So his centre-back stats, actually, for Luke Shaw, do stack up quite well. And I think he's played really, really well. Really, really well. If you want to use the Smart Scout website, links in the video description. It's really good. Use it throughout the week and get yourself familiar with it. You can really deep dive into a lot of stuff with that. Jordan Such, only positive Luke Shaw, otherwise pathetic. If they don't get Bruno, they bloody need to get someone midfield, Bournemouth standard, and if Rashford is out for weeks, God help us. Upbeat, sarcastic, why do we slow the play every time we get the ball? There's ways through their lines, but we don't move the ball out. Ollie has tactical mind of a cabbage. And Sean Finity, we rightly mention our problems on offence, but the soft goal has a real problem this year. Shaw looks good when only playing one side of the game. And Finn Barra says, what's sad is we're in our worst situation for 20 years, and this is the best Liverpool team for 30 years, and it's still only 1-0 at half-time. And Gulux, latest member, thanks for that. Referee hasn't been good, but on the balance of play, the referee hasn't made the score not be what the score it should be. It hurts watching the Liverpool side win the title, says Ninja Smurf United. Andreas really should have scored that mark, says George Ramos. I mean, look, I can't say that enough. That chance that Andreas Pereira gets. I personally think that Wan-Bissaka doesn't help him. Wan-Bissaka's on the back post. I think Wan-Bissaka should score himself. He tries to cross it instead, and the quality of the cross isn't that great. But Wan-Bissaka's got to go with his right foot. He's got to go with his right foot, and he goes with his right foot. He should go with his left foot. It's a tap-in. It's a tap-in. I'm sure we're about to see it on the telly. It's an absolute tap-in for him, and he doesn't get it right. But we're still in the game. We're still in the game, I suppose. Red Baron, Mark, I can imagine Ollie fist pump in the air if we only lose 2-0, and in the press conference he'll say this is basically like winning the Champions League. Well, he's got to do something second half. I mean, look, we can all sit here and say what should have happened. What would I do in the second half? What would you do in the second half, Paul? We've got Paul to join us for a few minutes in the second half, and I can have a sip of my tea and try and get the heart rate down a little bit. What would you do second half, Paul, based on the first half?
Take Pereira off, mate. He's killing us.
Yeah, but who would you bring on? Do you think... I mean, Lingard's a waste of time. Mata, the game might be just a little bit too fast for him. Get Greenwood on, maybe?
No, I think we've got to bring Mata on. I don't care if it's too fast. If Mata stays in the pocket and picks up the space that Pereira's picking up, then he'll do something with it. Pereira's had about literally 7 or 8 opportunities to put balls through, lay it off, recycle the play, have a shot. Every time he gets an option, he chooses the wrong one. He didn't shoot when he should have. He shot when he shouldn't have. He's getting some really good positions and he's getting space and he just doesn't do anything with it. An extra 2 touches. If there's ever a time we need Bruno Fernandes, it's now. It's ridiculous. It's not the only part of the game that needs to, step up a gear, but that, for me, is an issue because it's the only chance we get to score is from Pereira and he can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I think that Pereira chance, and nobody's confirmed to me that he was offside, but I didn't really see it come back. I didn't see them show it at half-time. I can't believe he's gone with his right foot. That's those sort of chances you've got to score. And Dan McDougall says, Man United, Liverpool, Man United losing with no quality going forward, Glazers and Woodward. We are glad to announce Bruno Fernandes. P.S. I think Greenwood for James. And Adam VSA says, I could see second half going both ways. Either we score 2 quick goals or Liverpool smashes 4. I'd like to get the 2 quick goals. I'm liking the sound of that because I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, look, I don't know about you, Paul, and everybody else as well who's been watching it. I think if this was Arsenal or something like that, I'd be far more angry and negative than I am. But I'm just getting drawn in, as I'm sure many United fans are, to the actual event. This is Liverpool against Manchester United, and it's hard to tactically look at the mistakes because I just so want us to get something out of the game. It's just a football game to me. Apart from the goal, which was I can't believe the zonal mark issue, but I just want us to get something out of this game. I'm even having to go at referees, which I never can be asked to go against normally because I'm just like, well, the ref's crap, but so are we.
Yeah, that zonal marking was ridiculous. I hate zonal marking. It's never going to be good for me. If we can't defend corners, that's obvious. We've not been able to the whole season. We still persist with it. And Virgil van Dijk's one of the best in the air in the whole league. And he's up against, 3 players, and we couldn't get on top of him because everyone stands still in zonal. They stay in their spot. No one runs towards a man. So you don't get a leaping jump, whereas Van Dijk did. So that was very disappointing. But there's some positives on there. Fred's been fantastic. This is why I'm annoyed with Pereira, because Fred has been turning on the ball very composed, and he's been breaking the lines to Pereira. And it's like passing it to a blancmange in the middle. It just bounces. It doesn't do anything with it. We've got positive signs in terms of attack. Martial's been quiet. He's not held the ball up well enough. James, do you know what it is, Mark? In defence, we seem well-shaped and we seem well-drilled. When we're attacking, we haven't got any specific attacking plan. There's, it's freestyle football. Whoever's running in which direction, we try and pass it to them. There's no detailed, right, we know this is going to happen, so you stay wide. And then when you get wide, you run in the box. As soon as we get past the halfway line, Fred passes it forward, freestyle. And that's annoying me a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I think Martial is a threat, and I think Dan James can be told to make the right runs because he's done it a couple of times. But when you've got we said it before the game, Matic and Fred are not creative, and unfortunately the stats show you that Andreas Pereira is not creative either. So how are we going to create the opportunities for Dan James and Martial if they don't create in themselves? And to be honest with you, in the first few minutes there was an opportunity. Dan James could have played a better cross. Martial would have had maybe a tap in, and then there was another opportunity where he tried to play him in. But those opportunities are going to come very, very rare against that sort of opposition. And to be honest with you, I look back on that half and I think, well, realistically, if Dan James had sorted his final ball out twice and Pereira had sorted his feet out, we could have had 3 very good goal scoring opportunities, of which I think we would have scored 2 from the 3. But we're not going to get many of those opportunities against this sort of an opposition. So, but look, on the other hand, I think Luke Shaw's been fantastic, and Brandon Williams.
Yeah, they've been great. And you're right about Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof. They're not quite in tune with each other. You know, and working down that right-hand side is not, you know, Wan-Bissaka's having to go to ground all the time to put the tackles in. Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka are passing it to each other when they're 2 yards apart. It's not really working. The other side is great. Luke Shaw, I think his touch and his passing and his distribution is very played down because he's very good at it. And if there's more interaction with the forward play with Luke Shaw coming to get the ball, I think we'd do better down the left in terms of attacking. But at the moment, I can't see where our attack is going to score a goal. That's the problem. But I can see where Liverpool's going to. So, again, the next goal's key. Come out first 5 minutes, blitz them, get a goal, and we've got a very good chance. But, you know, if we're good for 10 minutes, we know what happens to us. We drift off and then the other team takes over. And then the last 5 minutes, we'll push for the goal because the other team drop off. It's still open, Mark. It's still 1-0. We're well in it. But if Pereira can just find that ball, then we'll get chances.
What I would say is, I think if we lose this game, it's going to be... Because I'm quite happy with the players in that game. I think some of them are limited. Pereira's limited. Dan James has been limited, but the effort levels are there. We know that. The problem is the quality. Yeah. If we lose this game, 1-0, it's Ollie's fault. Because that's a coaching error. The zonal marking, we've seen it too many times. That goal is too easy for Liverpool, and it's badly coached by United. So if I was him, this second half is massive, because now it's about, do you want to lose the game on a coaching area, or do you want to turn this game around on good coaching at half time? And he's got to embrace that, and that's the challenge to him, because if we lose this game, even Carragher and Neville are saying it on Sky, Weaver are saying it on here, so the world will be saying it. That's just zonal marking, which has been a problem for 6 weeks. The challenge is the second half. Can you get back into this game? And he's got to coach his way back into this game. So, you know, for me, this game now, Liverpool, Manchester United is not always about it. It can be about a refereeing decision. It can be about a lot of things. Now this is about coaching, and it's a big challenge for Ollie.
Yeah, this formation and the way we're playing at the moment is not working, if you know what I mean. It is causing a few problems for Liverpool, and also we aren't really fully under pressure. They've had chances. They're Liverpool. They're going to have chances. They're very good. And they've got a fantastic front three who are going to get chances. It's 1-0. We're causing them problems. Fred's passing it through the lines excellently. Matic is doing what he needs to do. We've got good assets on the left-hand side to get an attacking move going. If we can just get that ball from Pereira into space, James, Martial, they have to take their chances. This is not the time to miss and shrug your shoulders, because we will only get a couple. And those couple, we need to be clinical, and if we're not, we're going to suffer for it.
I feel there's an explosion to be had in this United Stand studio today, a positive one. I feel we'll score. I just hope it's not a consolation when we're 4-0 down. But I'll get you on for the last 10, Paul. Might need somebody by then.
Cheers, buddy.
I'll speak to you in a bit, mate. Meb3 says, what was the idiot on about with United be crap for 20 years ago? 20 years United were in the middle of winning 3 leagues in a row, says Meb3. Jimmy Witt says, if we had Bruno, we would be winning this game. Woodward has got to get this deal done. It's the most pivotal deal during the horrible Glazer ownership. Sad thing is they don't even know it. And thoughts on Henry Winter's tweet about Rashford? It's heartbreaking to see. I haven't seen it, mate. So let's go and have a look at that in the second half. The game has kicked off, and Joker Manos says, we're still miles away from Liverpool, but maybe there is some improvement from Solskjaer tactically. Would love to see him with a team with more depth. Interesting. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we will have fan cams and match reaction after this. I'm just going to check Henry Winter's tweets. Henry Winter's tweet. Come on, United, let's get it back in the second half anyway. Henry Winter has said 12 minutes ago, Rashford was carrying a single stress fracture in his back, now has a double stress fracture after the Wolves game, expected to be out for 2 to 3 months, also has a piece of floating bone in his ankle requiring non-intrusive surgery to remove, been paying through immense pain to help. That's a credible journalist. That's a joke. And Liverpool just had a decent chance. It's just bad news and stuff going on. That's 2 to 3 months without Marcus Rashford. That's Henry Winter, who is a very credible journalist, to be honest with you. You'd say he's up there with people like Simon Stone and Simon Peach. And 2 to 3 months without Marcus Rashford. I love Anthony Martial, but I do think he'll get injured again. But, yeah. Just telling Drawty. Oh, De Gea's just made a great save there. Salah, bloody hell. Switch on, Goldbridge. You're missing bloody chances here. Might be for the best, though, because it was a Liverpool chance. Let's have a look here. Firmino to Mane. Plays in Andy Robertson. And see, it's Wan-Bissaka again. He's not having a good game. The cross comes in. And Luke Shaw gets his feet mixed up. Well, he got away with it there, Luke. That's a comedy of errors from United. We have not switched on in this second half at all. Wan-Bissaka again not tracking his man, and the cross comes in. Salah should have put it away. That I'll tell you what, we can come out second half trying to get back into this game, but that should be game over. That was a massive chance for Salah. I don't know where Maguire and Lindelof are, by the way, because it's Luke Shaw trying to cut the cross out, and it's Wan-Bissaka getting done on the overlap. But Wan-Bissaka probably having one of his worst games for United today. And Mane cut back. He's not tracked his run again. What a time to not have a good game. Rashford potentially out for a while, and some didn't think we needed a striker this window, says the Bit W. This season has got the potential to just collapse, hasn't it? Let's be honest. So Liverpool have just had 2 really good opportunities in the first 3 minutes here. So United's tactical plan, whatever it is, has not shown its face yet. What was that by Luke? Luke Shaw's disappeared. And Henderson's hit the post. Luke Shaw's come out second half like Phil Jones. I don't know what's going on here. That was a terrible ball out by Luke Shaw. And straight to Henderson, who got a shot off. United are in all sorts of trouble here. Salah, block. Oh my God, we're on the ropes. We're on the bloody ropes. This is a terrible start to the second half. If we get Haaland, what will happen to Rashi, Greeny and Marshy idiots, says Adam Philbert. Oh God, I don't know what you're arguing about, mate. We needed depth in the striking positions. This game should be over, lads and ladies. You know, you talk about... It's a bloody good save from De Gea, actually. That. He tipped it onto the post. What a save. Bloody hell. Now Lindelof's down injured. He's had one in the nuts. Snickers. Time to get some nuts. Ollie's doing this. Don't know what it means. He just did this. Do. Push pineapple, shake a tree. Do. Push pineapple, shake coffee. To the left, to the right. Jump up and down onto the knees. Maybe he was doing that. He was obviously trying to tell him something. I don't know what that would be. As managers, you do weird shit. But the game should be done. I've got to put my hands up and say this has been a sluggish second half to from United so far. We've come out like we're still in the dressing room, and Liverpool have come out like they want to get this game done, and they look like they're all over us at the moment. They've had 2 golden opportunities, 3 really. Mane had a chance as well, but Salah and Henderson both going very close. Abba's channel says, what's wrong with Manchester United? I could write a book and it'd be bigger than War and Peace, to be honest with you. It's massive problems for United at the moment. Luke Shaw clears it there. Roadrunner says City are going to beat us again in the second leg of League Cup. Tough game with Watford. They beat Tranmere. If they beat Tranmere in the FA Cup, Rashford body has been burnt out. Double stress fracture to the back or so, Ollie thinks. Yeah, the Rashford thing is overuse. And What annoys me about Manchester United, and here we are, zonal marking again. Like, we're not learnt from the first half. We're zonal marking. You could not get a better example of zonal marking here, because United are not marking anybody. So we're keeping at it. The frustrating thing for United is that we, as fans, can see the issues, but the club can't see the issues. So Marcus Rashford, people have been saying for ages he's playing too many games, but Ollie's just kept using him. Apparently he's been playing in a lot of pain as well. As NFL superfans, wait a minute, De Gea with another save. As NFL superfan here, Glazers are known for putting average rosters of out and pray for luck. 5 coaches say they have fan mail and never go after top free agents, spend money. Love Man United, love United stand, says Justin. Matic poor, can't handle himself in a midfield where he has no time. Pereira get into good positions, but quality is never going to be there. Second most goals conceded from corners in the Premier League. You can only blame the coaching. Red Baron, we're a parody football club. If you put us live on UK Gold, I wouldn't know the difference between this and the Benny Hill sketches. And Karam Dwaj says, it called a manager that has tactical know-how. Klopp has gone in at half-time and told how to exploit the weaknesses. I think you're spot on. I think second half, this is just embarrassing from Man United. All over us in this second half, unfortunately, Liverpool, and United just not responding in the way that we would want, that we hoped they would. And Liverpool have got another corner here. It's just attack against defence here. Salah, they're queuing up on the back. And it's another corner. Bloody hell. A lot of people saying Mata should have started. Another corner. Salah goes low. Got a chance to break here for United. Dan James. Too easy to push him off the ball there. Maurice Gazard says United are done for the season. Rashford is out for 2 to 3 months, which is the rest of the season. They're barely any threat going forward now, I think. And Jeff Doherty, thanks for the contribution. I'll tell you what I would say about Rashford. I mean, how does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer survive in his job? Wan-Bissaka does well to get the block in there, but I don't think he's had a good game. Some people are talking about handball on Luke Shaw, by Luke Shaw. United just can't get out. Second half attempts, 7 to Liverpool, none to Manchester United. We have got no idea. We were better in the first half, and there has not been any response from United so far. And as people said, I mean, Klopp has obviously told him off at half-time and said, look, Pereira nearly made it 1-0, 1-1. That would have been embarrassing. You've got to go out second half and put them to the sword. I don't know what Ollie's told us to do. Because it's not happening at the moment. The referee was bribed in the first half and he is bribed more in the break, says Shem Leah. I think Liverpool are the better team in the second half at the moment, mate. No leadership or plan from ownership has led to a general feeling of malaise, and I fear the worst is yet to come. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also a mess, says Jeff Doherty. Well, this has not been a good... The first half was exciting. The second half, I feel, has been a damp squib because we're just not in the game. It's just basically attack against defence. It's not something you can get into. Andreas is garbage, says JB. When the quality from our midfield is this poor, I can hardly blame Ollie. Not that he's not at fault for other issues. Liverpool are dominating, says Joseph. You're right, mate. You're right. I mean, look, sometimes you just have to hold your hands up. But the disappointing thing about this second half is that first half we were all up for it. You know, it was passion. It was, you know, nobody could calm down. It was Liverpool against Manchester United. It was come on, come on, come on. Second half, we've had that break, and so have the players. They're not up for it. Go on, Fred. Go on. Find a pass. He needs to find a pass. Oh, shoots wide. We've seen that happen twice now in this game. Midfielder breaking from Liverpool's defence at midfield, running at the back four. But where's the pass to Martial or James? What? It's not there, is it? Martial is not up with the play. Liverpool defending really well there because they're not allowing him to play a pass. They're saying you're going to have to shoot. And it's going to take a good finish from there to beat Alisson, who's very good at dealing with shots, as we've shown on the Smarter Scout website before. Wan-Bissaka's given a foul away there. Rash is out for 3 months. Will Ollie get fired? Says Jake Cheap, Guzman and Alligator. Carrick, Ollie and McKenna, 3 blind mice. Can we get a mic on them to see what's actually being said in the dugout? Restaurant recommendations. You make me want to sing the song now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Luke Shaw again. And again. Look at that. Look at that from Luke Shaw. That's brilliant. Wins the tackle. Brings it out to Pereira. Come on. Shucking hell. Shucking hell. Shucking hell. I'm not swearing. I'm putting shut on the start. Terrible ball by bloody Pereira. Brilliant by Luke Shaw bringing it out. And the ball from Pereira with all the space to play it. Yeah, the fear with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that, you know, where are we going to get the results? Rashford's been so good for us. Who is this McKenna fella anyway? Never heard of him. Does he drive the team bus? Our coaching staff has no experience. He looks like young Priest. Used to coach the youth setup. Mark Whitton. Martial! Oh! What a miss! Anthony Martial! What a miss! Couldn't finish your dinner. What are you doing? What are you doing? Lovely bit of play between Martial and Pereira. He gets through. He's got to score. He has got to score. My favourite player as well, and even I have got to say, couldn't hit the ocean from a boat. He's got to score. That is a golden opportunity for Manchester United from nothing. We've not done anything in this half. Oh, Anthony. What are you doing? Lovely bit of play to make the chance, but I tell you what, if he scores that goal, we're saying that's superb. Oh, God. Urim Galvin, at this point, I just want one of our players to drop a Liverpool player. We need to stop getting pushed around. Zamiasi, Mark, why don't you and Robbie go to the Middle East and get a consortium together for the Gulf States to buy Arsenal and United? I'm just like... I thought he was going to score then. I thought that was going to be the moment. I thought that was going to be the moment. Thanks for the contribution, Wilson Molina. Well, the game could have been out of reach. Liverpool coming out in the second half looking really strong. Don't score, and then we go and create a cracking chance, and Martial puts it over the bar. Half an hour to go. Get Matter on in this game, says Wilson Moll. Well, I think that's exactly why I said half an hour to go, because I think he does need to bring on a player now. Now is the time to do it. Could anybody, Lingard, Mata, look worse than Andreas at this number 10 position, says Tim, said 35. I think there needs to be some context there, because actually it was Pereira who did the 1-2 with Martial, who nearly scored. Somebody just said that Martial's been rubbish. Well, if he's been rubbish, can you tell me what Pereira and Dan James have been then? And Matic, because I think our front five, Martial and Fred, have probably been the two better ones. But Matic, Pereira and Dan James have really struggled. That's good by Matic into Martial. Martial's getting more into it now. Pereira, that needed to go back. Whoa, God! For a Brazilian, I think he's got a fake Brazilian passport, because for a Brazilian, he's got a terrible first touch. He's just passed it straight to Salah. Oh, get Pereira off. Get Pereira off. Like, I changed my mind. Wijnaldum, no, this is not what you want. Mane against Lindelof on his own. Just goes wide. KA says that Pereira is Brazilian, but he was born in Europe. Yeah, Stoke. He plays like he plays for Stoke. But it remains 1-0. We could still get something out of this game. I mean, you know what? This game could be the story of the season. As bad as we are, we still managed to stay relevant, because remember, we are only 5 points off top four. By some miracle, we are only 5 points off top four. Beat Burnley and Chelsea lose to Arsenal. We'll be 2 points off top four next weekend. Greenwood needs to come on, says Zach Smith. Kleberson is no longer the worst Brazilian player in United's history, says Alligator. I mean, I think Pereira's got something about him. Look at Luke Shaw again, dealing with the ball like a top-class centre-back. I think he's had such a good game, Luke Shaw. Martial is playing up front and in the midfield, says Ravi Lee Hell. Well, I think Dan James has done sod all second half. I think we can all agree that Dan James has done nothing second half. Dembele is light years better than Martial, says David James. Which Dembele are you talking about? The one that's disappeared in Barcelona? We need a missing person poster for. Rashford's going to be a massive miss, yes. Wan-Bissaka, I think Wan-Bissaka has probably had his worst game for United. Now, Dan James, that's a foul. That is a foul. Rash out for 2 to 3 months, Mark, if you haven't heard, to Scott. Yeah, we've heard that. Henry Winter confirming it. So those rumours that people thought were fake clearly are true. I just think Wan-Bissaka doesn't suit a back five. He just looks confused. He's getting caught out of position a lot. Oh my life. That cross he's just put in as well is... Yeah, I think it could well be his worst game in a Manchester United shirt, unfortunately, at one of the worst times for him to have it. Lallana's coming on. I always see the llama with him because of... So Oxlade-Chamberlain's come on. I remember Liverpool are doing this without Fabinho as well, who is a massive part of their team. But they've got squad depth, as you can see. Martial. Shot from distance, straight at Alisson. United coming forward again with Fred. He's going to shoot from distance and Alisson has to palm it away. We're getting a little bit more in this game now. Can we get a little bit more? It's like that song by Gina G. Liverpool on the attack. Mane, Luke Shaw, Matic, Fred. Can we get something? 23 minutes to go. Fred, man of the match, says Red Baron. I think Fred has played well second half. Mark, what were you thinking of the new club's captain's performance? He's looked solid. Hopefully this result gets the Glazers off their asses and do something, says Danny McDougall. Yeah, I think Maguire and Lindelof have done all right. I think Wan-Bissaka's been poor. I think Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams have been brilliant. I think Fred's done well. I think Matic, Pereira, James have been quiet. Martial's fought hard so far. Wan-Bissaka, not a good cross again. Hit it, Fred. No, he's not going to be able to hit that now. We've just not got the creativity in and around the box, unfortunately. There's a lot of fight from United, but there's just not enough fights, not enough creativity. Ollie's tactics have been really good, just lack of quality in midfield. Defence looks top four. No centre attack in midfield is just rest in peace for United. Also, a lack of a striker is showing, and that's from Spitfire Dub Step 13. Trying to get Matic sent off here. 20 minutes to go. I just feel that there might be something in this for United. I do. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we'll have fan cams coming up for you after the game. Also, match reaction as well. United had 60% possession in the last 10 minutes, according to Sky. It's interesting, isn't it, how a game can change? Because I think in the first 10 minutes of this game, it should have been over. Why has he made no subs, though? Like, why has he made no subs? Exactly. Mansour says it. Why has he made no subs? It's too slow to react. Like, Dan James hasn't even been in this game, second half. Liverpool on the attack. Yeah, but it's interesting what I was saying before is in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this game, Liverpool should have put the game to bed. Henderson hitting the post from a good save from De Gea. Salah missing a sitter. Mane having a half chance. They could have put the game to bed, but by not doing that, United have come back into it. And here's Martial. But bad pass. Come on, United. Show a bit of bloody pride here. Luke Shaw's going to get booked, I think, here. Yeah, yellow card. Salah got away from him. Any tactic can look good if you came to defend, says Biggie Third. And Adan Lafava says, new update, Rashford out for 2 to 3 months with 2 stress fractures in his back. Amazing, absolutely amazing, for fuck's sake. Yeah, well, apparently on Marcus Rashford, I was just reading a bit about it there, which is why I went quiet. Apparently with Rashford, he already had 1 stress fracture of the back before the Wolves game, and he's now got 2. So, I mean, I don't really understand that injury too much, but surely, like, what's the recovery period for the first stress fracture? And surely there's an inevitability that he's going to get more by playing him with it. So, I mean, it just seems to me like it's another ridiculously bad management of a player by the medical staff, which at United, to be honest with you, is rubbish. Where are the subs, says Jess Ramsey. Talking of subs, please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Nice little plug there. I'd love to have Rooney in the midfield today, says David James. Well, oh, no, I don't think Rooney would be able to play at this level anymore. I'll tell you who I think's started to play better second half as well, Matic. I think Matic and Fred have come into this game a lot better second half. First half, I thought they were swamped a little bit. Guess England ain't winning the Euros now, says Matt Darvalo. Well, if he's out for 2 to 3 months, he'll be back for the Euros, won't he? Because the Euros don't start till June. $18 minutes to go. I can't believe he hasn't made a substitution. Well done, Matic, there. I'll tell you what, these last 10 minutes, Matic has been really good. And then he plays a bad pass. To show anger, we should throw our support at FC United as not a number. I wouldn't say I'm massively angry about United today. I've got to be honest with you. I'm just like, I just want us to get something from the game. Why hasn't he brought Greenwood on, says Jonathan Matthews. DB1919 says Ollie is out of his depth here. That's going to stay on. No, it's not. He's got to make a substitution. Greenwood and Mata coming on. Well, that's with 15 minutes to go. That's at least 10 minutes too late for me. Pereira comes off, and it should be Dan James. No, he's taking Williams off. So we're going to go to a flat back 4. Brandon Williams and Andreas Pereira come off. Matic and Greenwood come on. So I think Dan James will go right. Mata will go where Pereira was, and we'll go 4-2-3-1. Luke Shaw will go to left back. He's like Wenger, no subs till 75 minutes at the earliest, says Super Skolzy. Well, the thing is, the game will stretch it. I think that this formation will suit Liverpool as well, so it needs to work for us from minute 1, because Liverpool will be able to get at us a little bit more now, because we're not going to be so defensively secure. But I don't, you know, from Liverpool's point of view, have they been markedly better than United? I'm talking like Ollie now. He'll be coming out and saying this at the end. Anyway, there wasn't much between us. Yeah, there was nothing between us apart from a coaching error with zonal marking. So all of Ollie's signings have worked, to be fair. Woodward is the one who is ruining the club, says Duke of Knowledge. And the real Dave T95, United fans great again. Glazers and Woodwards don't deserve this support. I think he's keeping Dan James on because he's potentially got that bit of a spark. You know what the scary thing for United is now? With all these games we've got, we play with 3 up front. I know we haven't today, we played with 2, but we 90% of our games we play with 3 up front. We've only got Dan James, Greenwood and Marcus Rashford. But there's nobody. Who else is going to play in the front 3 positions? Tahith Chong isn't ready and may leave anyway. So we've got nobody to play in the front 3 positions now. That's, you know, this was always the problem. United stand is more fun than watching United play, says Srineth. Well, we are. Hopefully everybody is watching us play because we've still got time to get back into this game. That's poor layoff by Martial. What a ball by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Firmino's got the freedom of Anfield here. But the United have now got players back. Good block by Wan-Bissaka, and Harry Maguire stops it from a throw-in. Pereira looks like a La Liga player to me. Should have had more loan assignments in England, says Jeff Doherty. I agree with that. I mean, it's a very long thing to talk about there, but I didn't agree with Pereira's loan to Valencia. He'd already done one in La Liga. He should have done to Bournemouth or something like that. That's a foul on Luke Shaw off the ball by Mane. It's all right, we've got the ball. What a ball by Martial. Dan James, get for that penalty box. Go for the box. Cross comes in. It's not a good cross again. I don't know what's gone wrong with Dan James because his final ball used to be really good. Rory Allen says Wan-Bissaka's played well. I don't agree, and Wan-Bissaka's one of my favourite players, but I think today he's struggled with the 5. I think he'll start having a good game now because I think in a back 4 he knows what his role is, but I think that Brandon Williams and Luke Shaw dealt with the back 5 really well. I don't think Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka did. If you look at who's been in the game more, Mane or Salah, nobody in the box here. Good cross by Martial, but there's nobody in the box. Greenwood tried to get on the end of it. Elemento says, imagine if we had Haaland to sub on in this game. Well, it'd just be a player you can chuck a long ball to, wouldn't he? And I think United do miss that. About 15 minutes to go. Well, 13 minutes and then it's what's the stoppage time there is. We just need that golden chance. Back post, Dan James. No, it's too long. No, too long. JC and H Motors says if we had Bruno, we'd be winning this game. Lingard and Jones sat on the bench. Yeah, don't use them. No point. Remember, United play on Wednesday night as well, home to Burnley. Hopefully we get 3 points in that, because Chelsea Arsenal on Tuesday night. I'm going to do a watch along for that on That's Football, actually. Amazingly, if even if we lose this, if Chelsea don't lose to Arsenal, we could go 2 points off top 4 if we beat Burnley. So, that race for top 4 is still on. But we're not going to be the team to beat Liverpool, are we? By the looks of it. Mark, when I buy United, I'll hire you for director, says David James. I wish somebody would buy United. Mata. Nice little bit of play there. And final ball not so good from Mata there. This football is died, so draining. Brings me back to Van Gaal. Please bring in Poch, says Adam Tate. Well, look, long term, can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stay in his job? George Kyle, one of our moderators, was saying in the group chat last night that he estimates United will end up with about 56 points. That's terrible. 56 points is a rubbish total. So Ollie will be here till May, but what can he do between now and May to keep his job? Can he win anything with this team with all the injuries that he's got? McTominay and Pogba aren't going to be back for at least a month. Rashford's going to be out till probably March. So, I think the Europa League is pretty much all we've got to go for. 10 minutes to go. United need to force the issue here. We cannot let this game just fizzle out. Liverpool will start to settle for this. They're very good at seeing games out, Liverpool, which is why they're unbeaten, which is why they're top of the league. It's not just about winning games. They actually are quite good at seeing a game out. United, Mata, Martial, get it wide, Mata. Wan-Bissaka holds on to the ball for too long for me. Corner though. Get up, Harry Maguire. Now, we haven't had enough of these in this game. I can't even remember us having a corner. Is this our first corner of the game? Matt Barnett says, I'm proud of the boys. They haven't given up. I think they have. I think they've... Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to come out and say that, Matt. We've worked really hard. And we have worked really hard. But we've been undone by our own bloody coaching, really. But can we get something from a corner? Cross comes in. Oh! Who got the header on that? There was like 3 United players. I was like, somebody's going to get the nut on that and head it in. And the ball goes the other way. close but no cigar is the saying. Cross comes in from Mata. It's a decent cross. And I don't know who gets the head on that. I think it might be Firmino. Yeah. And Fabinho is coming on for them, and Origi. Strength in depth, you see, makes a big difference. It makes a difference. You don't want to lose. We don't want to lose anyway, but you don't want to lose bloody 1-0. Losing 1-0 to a zonal error. Zonal bloody corner error. We don't want that. We don't want that. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate. You're right.
Well, yeah. I'm personally all right. I'm a bit peeved with United this second half, but we're still hanging on in there. I think the first few minutes of the half, it should have been over 2 or 3-0 to Liverpool, but we've actually got back into it when you think about it. I mean, Ollie's going to wax lyrical about the chances that we've missed, like Martial, but to be fair, Liverpool missed those big chances as well. But I almost feel like we do, for the work, and I hate to say it, the hard work we've put in, we sort of almost do deserve a draw. But it's whether we can find the opportunity to get it.
We've been given the chance to get it.
Mm.
So that's the big thing. We're in a position now where Martial should have scored that goal. All right, Liverpool could be 4-0 up, to be honest, but we're in a position to draw this game or get some points out of it and stop Liverpool's run. Now, hopefully we can do it, but these last 7 minutes are pivotal. We've really got to push for it. We've got to be clinical, Mark. We're going to get a chance. We've got to be clinical because the luck is with us today, and we just haven't quite taken advantage of that.
Well, Liverpool have got a free kick here and a chance to whip one in. They've had a lot of free kicks today, Liverpool. Some would say too many. But cross comes in from Robertson. And again, I don't really like the marking on Van Dijk, but we've got away with it. And Matic clears. But what did you think about... We spoke at half-time. What did you think about the tactical changes? Because I felt the substitutions were too late. I mean... He literally only made the subs 10 minutes ago. And we came out second half almost asleep. Yeah,
and Pereira, he kept on making the same mistakes for 30 minutes or the entire time he was on in that half. He just doesn't know what to do with the ball. He can't think quick enough to get it moving to create those chances and wants too long on the ball. So changes should have come earlier, but at least they didn't come on like 83, 85 minutes. I don't know if he had anybody on the bench that could really change the game up because, let's face it, we put our best team out. Now he's put Greenwood on. He's got goals in him. And Mata, he's got that little bit of class that we could need for some chances. But we've got to take those chances, Mark. We've had a couple. And we can't afford not to be clinical against teams like this. And it's been a problem all season.
Yeah, I mean, look at that Pereira chance at the first half as well. But about 5 minutes to go of normal time, then there'll be added time. And... I did feel at half time that we would get something out of this game, but I've got to be honest, it's sort of slipping away from us now. And Liverpool this is why Liverpool are top. A lot of people just think, oh, Liverpool are a great team, and they are a good team, but they're also very good at grinding out results. And I think they've won quite a few games this season where it's been wiped by the odd goal, and this game has panned out exactly how I sort of thought it would do. Really, I didn't envisage us getting our arse handed on a plate. I thought that we could, I thought it would be tight, but. It's whether we can create that chance now.
There's some positives to take out of this game. There are. There's some individual performances. I think Fred's been fantastic. I think Fred's driven us forward. He's the one that's been on the front foot to be able to get us moving towards the goal. The entire match, he's been comfortable on the ball. He's just a different player than he was 6 months ago.
Luke Shaw down with cramp now.
Solid. Yeah, Shaw down with cramp. Well... Hopefully it is just cramp and not a hamstring problem because Rashford out for 3 months. We don't need any more injuries, do we?
No.
But yeah, I don't know why I feel so disappointed at losing this game. I think it's because it's 1-0 and we got the opportunity to draw. or we had the opportunity to win it, even though it would be the luckiest win ever, and we've just not taken it, Mark. And it kind of deflates you a little bit.
Well, you should be disappointed though. I mean, I would detest. I mean, Luke Shaw's coming off with Delo here. I would detest any United fan saying, "Oh well, we've got to be proud of the lads," because then expectations have been lowered, haven't they? Beyond ridiculous levels.
There's zero to learn in this game.
Yeah.
There's nothing to learn from this. We created a shape. We sat in that shape. We've defended reasonably well. We've attacked, but
because it's not even the formation we play, is it? It's not like we can say, "Oh yeah, this is something to do going forward," because you wouldn't play like this against Burnley because you'd be too defensive.
And it's not as if you can say it's an Ollie masterclass either, because it isn't really, is it? He's just stuck loads of men behind the ball and hope we can counter. But our counter attack has been awful. How can our entire existence and style be around counter attacking, but when you take one player out, which is Rashford, we cannot counter attack? I don't understand that philosophy, because we haven't counter attacked well at all today, but we got the pace on the pitch to be able to do it. So even our plan A isn't working today, which I assume was what we were relying on to get goals. So yeah, I'm a little bit mixed up today, Mark. I don't really know what to make of it, but there's positives. There are negatives as well, but there's positives to take out of it.
I think if it stays like this, and I really hope that it doesn't, but if it stays like this, I thought the first half was really, I was involved in it. The second half has just not felt the same, and I just think it's not the way you want to lose, is it? It's just like it's close but no cigar. It's like you say, I don't think
it's flaccid.
Yeah, I think when I do it is flaccid. Needs a bit of Viagra, but I think that there are going to be some performances from United that I would say have been really good performances. But as you said quite rightly, it's a good point. What have we learned from this game? For all the positives, what have we learned from the game? Because we don't play like this. It was a specific task to beat Liverpool, and it hasn't worked. It's not. We can take individual performances, but we can't take anything tactically or formation wise again.
No, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a tactical improvement,
Decent free kick opportunity.
And we haven't seen it today.
So Fred
this is true.
is going to whip one
Fred
out, winning.
Well, hopefully he can put a decent ball in, because we've got plenty of players in the box.
This is where we highlighted before the game, though. Alisson's his weakness is off the high ball from set pieces, and Van Dijk is the only one who's really good on aerial duels. So let's have a look. He whipped it in quite well. Mason Greenwood, and we'll get a corner. So actually, it wasn't as good a cross as I thought it would be. Need a little bit better there.
You're actually ahead of me, Mark, which is weird. I don't know how that happens, but we got a corner. So if we can get a goal, I don't care. I don't care how we played. If we can get a draw, then it's just a finger in the eye to Liverpool, isn't it? And we can just, there's no banter to it. We don't get banter hard. Virgil van Dijk gets his head on it.
How is Jordan Henderson beating Delo for pace there? I thought Delo was quick. That's worrying, isn't it?
Well, I never thought he was quick, actually. But at least he put up a reasonable effort against him, so they're not counter-attacking and beating us 2-0. But yeah, I know nothing about Delo. He's been here a year and a half, and I know nothing about the boy. So hopefully he can come on and
I just assumed as a young fullback he was fast, but...
we need him now, because Young's gone, so he's going to get this opportunity.
It's whether he can stay
Greenwood
fit,
switch and play well. He's got a good head on his shoulders, Greenwood. He knows what to do with the ball without even thinking about it.
We're in the box here. Fred has gone down. We're into stoppage time, and it looks like it is just going to be seen out by Liverpool unless we can produce something. And this is the problem. It's the creativity in the final third to do something.
Chipped in. Yep. We get 10 yards outside the 18-yard box. We stop, and little cartoon question marks may as well pop up above their head, because it just stops. Everyone just stops. There's no movement. There's no interlinking. There's no instinctive, ball over the top because the runner's going to be there. There's no runner because they don't know whether the ball's going to come in. It's freestyle football. Ollie being a striker, in terms of our attacking coaching, it looks shocking. It doesn't look like it's coming together. They must be doing something on the training pitch, but what is it?
Delay with the cross there. That's not going to go anywhere near the goal. There's a break on now for Salah. De Gea's off his line. That's all right. 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes to go. Snap. Still 2 minutes. There's always a chance. One way or another, for them or for us, there's always a chance. So let's see who it's going to go down to. Hopefully it's going to be us. But
can we do it, everybody? I just don't think we look like we just lack the I think we lack the quality to put the ball into the box, and then in the box, I don't think we've got the right sort of player to. Van Dijk's going to eat anything in the air. They've just got the right mix, but we have got another opportunity to put a cross into the box, which is why I always felt if we were going to do anything, it was going to be from a set piece, because De Gea's looking to come up as well.
Yeah,
no, he's not.
We need Slabhead leaping like a salmon. Getting his big flat head on it,
the right sort
sticking
of
at the back of the net.
That's not the right sort of corner. That's a shocking corner in them circumstances. You need some power.
Floaty corner.
Dan James.
Yeah.
Oh, what is
Salah's
Dan
onside.
James doing there? That's Dan James's problem to a bloody T. Salah makes it 2-0 on the break, and the power of Dan James there. He is like it's like a butterfly biting an elephant's arse. He runs back to level him up, and then he has got no power on it at all. He's got no power at all to stop that goal. It's awful. Weaker than a butterfly's fart. Anything butterfly is Dan James there. Like, it's Mo Salah, man. It's not bloody Zlatan. It's Mo Salah. And Dan James gets back level with him. And that is a joke. That to me, Paul, that wraps up the performance of Dan James today. It's just weak. He gets back. He runs his arse off to get back, and then it just gets muscled off.
But Mo Salah's done it to better defenders. I can't. Why is James on his own chasing? Daniel James is the one chasing back. Who's, to be honest, this is a drop in the ocean, that Mark. He should have done better. But in terms of the entire performance, I mean, is 2-0 flattering? No. I mean, should we be 1-1? No. I'll leave it for your match reaction, mate. But I'm thoroughly disappointed, to be honest. There's positives to take out, but that's individual performances, not a team performance, and not the tactics. So I'm disappointed today. Actually, I'm pissed off, and I can't see anything we've learned from this game. Nothing.
No. And I don't think the future looks bright at all. I think it looks... Well, that is full time as well.
The future looks exactly the same as it did a year ago. For me, that's a nail in the coffin. It looks exactly the same as it did a year ago.
Well, Mourinho got the sack for losing this sort of a game.
56 points at the end of the season, Mark. 56. Yeah. Is that good enough? But no. I'll leave it to your match reaction. I could go on forever. Appreciate the time, mate. I'll catch you after.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks for that.
Laters. Right,
well, the game has just ended. I'm going to do my match reaction. I don't think there's any point hanging around on this stream. Links in the video description. Liverpool have, I wouldn't say stolen it, nicked it. They've put the icing on the cake at the end, 2-0. Don't watch Dan James against Mo Salah on Match of the Day tonight. That is wetter than a beaver's muff. It really is. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculously weak. The scary thing about that is that Dan James is meant to be part of our future. Now, people will say, well, he's up against Mo Salah, but he's up against Van Dijk at the other end of the pitch. If you can't physically deal with Mo Salah in a one-on-one, how have you got any chance of dealing with a Van Dijk or a Laporte or even a bloody Mustafi at the other end? It's shocking, really shocking. But link in the video description. I'll be live with my match reaction in 60 seconds time. We'll talk about player ratings. We'll talk about tactics. We'll talk about the future. We'll talk about a lot of things. I'll see you on there in 60 seconds. Link in the video description.